Greetings, live, yeah?
Mm.
Greetings, family. Welcome to Content Over Everything. Big up, brother Leon inside. It is the one we've all been waiting for. It is the battle of Abraham. It's the Bible versus the Torah. All Christians, beware. This one is not for you unless you're thinking about converting anytime soon, family. Oh my days. It's Ezra versus Issa. It's the original Bible basher versus the one and only true Islam proponent. Family, this is one not to be missed. Yeah, make sure you got your pens and your papers ready. I want to say condolences to all Sunnis, because I know you're going to be conflicted by this one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I'll say a silent prayer for you while the debate is going on, because you're not going to know who to support, but it's all good. Yeah, that's why we're here anyway. Just to let you know, the format of the debate is going to be relatively loose. We're going to start off with Brother Ezra, who's going to be breaking down a perspective as it pertains to his understanding of the Holy Quran. Yes, indeed. And then Brother Issa is going to rebut his perspective by delving into the Bible. One of the topics on hand is the extent to which Muslims in general or Hebrews in general engage in idolatry, idol worship, kings and queens. Now, I know that some of you are thinking, how is a debate like this being moderated by somebody that both traditions would consider to be kuffar, pagan? But that's the way it goes, kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? Wherever it is, everybody has to come back to Africa. That's a slight moderator's dig, but don't worry. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into it right now. Whilst you're here, do hit the like button. Do hit the like button, kings and queens, and make sure you share the thing with friends and family. Share it far and wide. Share it with the entire masjid. Or I don't know if the Hebrews then got synagogues or whatever, or temples and whatever, do you know what I'm saying, over here, but share it anyway. Yeah, share it with your church family, because either way, I'm sure the church family would be informed by this debate. Make sure if you are not already subscribed to Content Over Everything, you hit the subscribe button and the bell right now. And also there's other channels associated with Content Over Everything: COE Top Striker and Talk the Things Them. Make sure you subscribe to all of those channels. When you click on the icon and go into channels, you'll see all of those channels. Also, COE News as well. Subscribe to all them channels, kings and queens. Make sure you get on board the sequel train. You done know. Right. We're going to open up right about now with Ezra, who's going to bring his perspective on the Quran, Islam, and idolatry. Ezra, are you ready?
Yes, brother. Ready.
Right, go
Can you hear
for
me good?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Everybody, please, hit one in the chat if you can hear Brother Ezra clearly. Do keep me informed regarding the sound quality. If there's any issues, let us know, and we'll try to resolve them from our end. Go ahead, Ezra.
Yeah, man. Big up the family. Big up content. Thanks for hosting this. You don't know. So like a family build. So it's all in love. Yeah, man. And firstly, I'd just like to, respect. Well, I don't understand how Issa even wants to have this argument, but we gotta do it anyway. Yeah. And I'm going to prove from the Bible clearly, that Israelites shouldn't be dealing in no type of idolatry whatsoever. Yeah, none. Yeah. And I'm going to prove that in Islam, and our brothers that follow Islam are doing idolatry. You know what I'm saying? So that's my premise.
Okay, is that it?
All right.
Yeah.
So brother Ezra has dropped his preeminent premise. Now we're going to hear the other premise that will be forwarded and expanded upon by Brother Issa, the Black intellectual Shia.
Okay, big up to the family, the panel, the moderator, and the people in the chat and those watching, etc. Yes, of course, as you all are fully aware that I come in and I assist my opponents with education. Obviously, I have to make it a pretense of a debate. The accusations against Muslims as a whole, against Prophet Muhammad, against Islam from the Hebrew Israelites. As we know from the comments, we can see our brother Isle and our brother Ezra can't help themselves but falsely accuse us Muslims of worshipping a black rock or a square box or something else in regards to idol worship. So obviously we have to quell and quash these false allegations, and we shall proceed to do so. So since the antagonist has been Ezra for so long, we therefore will proceed for Ezra to attempt to, at least pretend to prove his premise to be true, his claim to be true, with evidence that we Muslims as a whole worship, or at least the Prophet Muhammad introduced, and the Quran teaches us and guides us to worship a black rock or a black box or square box, or however he wants to put it. Thank you very much.
All right, kings and queens. So the primary premises of each of our debaters has been outlined. The question is, will the Christians fall in line with the Hebrew position in defense of the Bible? And will the Sunnis fall in line with the Shia perspective in defense of the Holy Quran, kings and queens? That is the question. Shout out to all my African spiritualists out there, because we ain't got a dog in this fight. You don't know. We're just going to sit back and just relax and drink some Supermart. With that, kings and queens, I'm going to hand over to Brother Ezra to expand upon his perspective on the issue of the people of Israel, Islam, the Quran, and idolatry. Go ahead, Brother Ezra. Ezra, your mic may be on mute. If it is, please take it off mute, because we can't hear you right now. Your mic is on mute, Ezra.
Oh yeah, my bad. I thought I was up. Yeah, man. Firstly, because our brother Issa is coming from the Shia perspective. I've took a little time out to just run him a couple of things, And firstly, I'd like to know where he stands on the Ya Ali thing. In fact, forget where you stand, because you're Shia, innit? Get me? So basically, Shia belief is that Ali, who is one of their imams, has basically power to connect them to the Most High. So basically, they believe that they can go through this person, and ask him for advice, or ask him to get Allah to help them with certain things, which according to all these definitions of the Bible, according to all definitions of idolatry, that is definitely idolatry, because Ali is a man, a dead man at that. He's not a prophet, and like the Bible says, there's only one mediator. You get me? And the Quran also agrees on that. You know what I'm saying? So, firstly, the Ya Ali thing, I'd like to see how he would be able to defend that not being idolatry.
Okay, so you want me to deal with that as it comes, yeah?
Yeah, deal with that one.
Okay, so as you know, Issa, the Black Tellect, identifies with and makes clear he follows the Islam of the Quran. Therefore, all practices and beliefs, or even hadiths, etc., must be subjected to what is instructed and outlined by the Quran. So we find nothing in the Quran that essentially says that it's a practice of the prophets or the prophet or even of the imams to generally ask for that type of intercession you're talking about. There has been incidences where they've got the family of the prophet to pray for rain and stuff like that. But I would definitely say that is not a practice of even all Shia. So obviously, me being a person that doesn't follow culture, I would say that doesn't really relate to me, and hence why the title specifically talks about the Quran or the Torah, so we can get right, because obviously I'm down 100% with the Quran. So hopefully you can find some evidence within the Quran or the Hajj or whichever who directly supports your claim, or at least an interpretation you're given of Quranic verses which supports your claim. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So we all heard Brother Issa, yeah? He said that he follows the Islam of the Quran, right? And that's what he bases his, because like he calls himself a Shia, but like he said, he doesn't follow all the practices of the Shia. So he claims that he's following the Islam of the Quran. So let's go to some Quranic verses and see if that's the case. Yeah. So here's what to start with. Yeah. I will go to Surah 16:89. Is there any chance you can pull that up, please, Shaka?
Surah 16, verse 89, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, hold on, give me a sec. Let's see if we can do this.
So basically, Issa just said that I would have to prove that he's doing idolatry from the Quran, yeah? So, okay, that's fine.
1 second, sorry. Hold on. Surah 16, verse 89.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to share this, yeah?
Yeah, if you can.
All right, 1 second. Let's go ahead and screen share business. Oh wait. Not even share screen.
Leon might have to click on the thing for you to do it.
I can do it. Right. So content you might have to let my screen be visible to the masses out there in YouTube land.
Yes. It's up there.
It's up there, yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Ezra. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Screen just locked. Right, so look, okay then. So we have, and we have sent down on thee the book making clear everything so remember that, making clear everything as a guidance and a mercy and as good tidings to those who surrender. Yeah. So Brother Issa, the Shia, is like the fact that he will go outside of the Quran, for his guidance, is proof is an idolatry, because this verse claims that the Quran is a clear guidance and a mercy. So look, if this is a book making everything clear, as the verse just claims, like you going outside of that is what, according to you, the moderator, because if I claim I have a book, this book is from God and it makes clear everything. Can you hear me, Shaka? Issa, is that you making a noise?
Yeah, Issa, whatever you're doing is affecting the mic. Please.
Oh, sorry.
Please stop trying to sabotage your opponent. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Just so you know, Ezra, he's the moderator, so you can't be asking him questions to forward your opinion.
No, I'm just asking.
You can't do that, bro. He's the moderator, bro. Get out of it.
Yo, just relax.
What are you gonna do next? Ask the referee to get the man in a headlock for you to box him up. Come on, bro. Stop that.
Nah. It's just, okay then. All right. Let's just. All right. I'll ask the audience. I'll ask you to not be biased with your answer. Yeah. And if your God claims he sent you a book that is making clear everything. Remember what everything means, yeah? Everything, yeah. That means that you have no reason to go outside of this book, because this book makes clear everything. You know what I'm saying? So when this brother Issa is going to hadiths, yeah, to find out how to do this and how to do that, that is idolatry. Because the Quran makes clear everything according to its own statement. So I'd like, what you got to say about that?
Okay, my brother. Yeah, I think unfortunately you have come with an argument put forward by the unfortunate Sunni deviants. So imagine Sunnis are deviants anyway. Then you have another group called the Quranists who have deviated from Sunnis. So you've got the deviant deviants.
Forget where it come from. Deal with the point.
No, I'm explaining, brother. So as I was saying, the Quranists are the ones who put that forth in that sense. And what I'm going to do to refute it is, Brother Shakar, if we can go to the Quran, chapter 4, verse 59, please.
All right. Surah 4, verse what?
59.
Surah 4, verse 59. All right. Second. Surah 59. Hold on. Is this it?
One sec. Stay where you are, please. If you can find Corpus Quran, because Sahih International isn't the best. If you can go to Corpus Quran, sorry. It will give you 5 translations.
You don't want no Sunni translations now?
No, they're all Sunni translations, but they give you like 5 or 6 or 7. And there's the one I like most of the time is this Salafi Saudi translation, which yeah. So Corpus Quran.
All right.
Chapter 4.
Are
you gone back again?
No, hold on.
No, you go.
If you go into settings from the same page that you was already on, that original one with the Sahih International translation, you can change it to the different translations still. If you go to settings over on the right side of the screen.
No, it's good where you're at. Stay where you are, please. If you go to the left of your screen, you'll go down to the 3rd one, which says English translation.
Okay.
No, where you gone? If you go back on that page. Sorry, back on Corpus Quran.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, I can't see. Okay.
Oh, yeah. On the YouTube is behind.
English translation.
Yeah.
And then you go to chapter 4.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then...
brother, one second. Brother Shaka, yeah. I'd like, obviously, you know how us Israelites do. Yeah, we have somebody to read the scriptures, innit?
Indeed.
So so I'm requesting if my brother Isaac could come on and just read for me. You know what I'm saying? Just read.
if brother Issa is okay with that, I'm okay with it.
I actually feel bad because I wanted someone to do that for me, but as a sign of love from myself, of course, brother. I mean, that will give it some oomph. And obviously, I think you're going to need all the help you can get. So yeah.
Bro, it's not. Bro, you know what it is? It's not even help. Like it's just so much to read it while
tradition.
You know, while it's all right. You know, I can read it myself. You know, but I'm saying like that's how we do our thing in it. But what I'm saying is, I'm sure you found one new black Sunni, one new black Shia.
Hold on, wait. I'm in my thing now. Let me do it. 59,
you converted the one man.
59.
Yeah. 59.
Sorry. My apologies. 59.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. You got a one conversion, man. Bring him on to read for you, bro.
No. Don't worry, bro. There's a whole heap. He just turned up in the thing. But don't worry, bro. There's a whole heap. There's a big backlog.
You see it?
It's coming. No, not yet. I can't. Ooh,
Surah 4, verse 59, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there. So this is Surah Al-Nisa?
Al-Nisa. Yeah.
The women, yes.
Okay. So if you go down a bit, we'll see there's about 7 different translations. One of them, which is the most useful. If you scroll down a bit, please. So we have here, just remember now, this is in response and total and utter refutation of Ezra's point, claiming that despite the Quran saying it's all clear. I agree, it's all clear, but that does not mean that we don't go outside of the Quran in regard hadith. So let me read chapter 4, verse 59. It's gone. Something's happened. It's gone off the screen.
No, it's still there.
No, oh, not on YouTube. So all right, it's back. Okay, it's back now. All right. Yes. So so it says in yes, chapter 4, verse 59. O you who believe, obey Allah. Now, for those of us that understand, this would literally mean the Quran, because we don't have any direct contact in relation to the commands that Allah sends down, except through the Quran, which come through the Prophet. So when it says, "Oh, you who believe," that would mean obey Allah. That means the commands in the Quran. Then it says, "And obey the messenger." Now, that would have to be the Quran, which comes from the messenger, and the Hadith. But just in case Ezra's mind has been contaminated by the Quranists, which try and say, well, when it says obey the messenger, that still means obey the Quran, because the Quran and obedience to Allah only comes through the messenger. The next sentence, no more sabotage, please. No noise in the background, please. The next sentence absolutely annihilates any other ridiculous suggestion, which says, obey Allah and the messenger and those in authority from among you. Okay, so obviously we have obey Allah, obey the messenger, and those in authority from among you. So those in authority from among you, who are those people and what commands are they given? Because those in authority from among you are definitely not getting any revelation from Allah. The messenger is delivering the message of the Quran. The messenger is delivering the message of the hadith, the breakdown, the instructions, and so on of the Quran and how to carry them out. Those people in authority from among you are not getting any revelation. So therefore, they're having to follow the Quran themselves. And they're having to follow the instructions of the Prophet, which obviously is more than just the Quran. So I would suggest to Brother Ezra, in relation to looking at hadith outside of the Quran being idol worship, that is unfortunate, and it should let it be a lesson to you never to trust any type of Sunni, whether that be a deviant Sunni of the Quranist pagans or the normal twisted and retarded Sunnis that we find all around the earth. So let that be a lesson to you. This verse clearly shows you. This verse clearly shows you that yes, you have to obey some other people outside of Allah and the Messenger, who are part and parcel of the Islam of the Quran. Obviously, I'm saying they're the 12 Imams, but that's not relevant to the point. The point is clearly there are people who are in authority to issue commands that must be obeyed. All other Muslims who come after Allah and the Prophet. Thank you very much. Next point, please.
Okay, on the same point, yeah. Basically, I understand what the brother
Same point,
understand where the brother Issa is going, because this is where most, sheer savage monkey beasts go.
Ooh,
No, I'm joking.
ooh. All right,
I respect
all right,
that. I'm
Hebrew.
joking,
I'm
man.
gonna smash you up. You watch.
Issa's all right, man. I'm all right still. You get me? But yeah, I understand where the brother's
Hold
going
on,
with
hold
that.
on, hold on. Where's the
That's it.
moderator? The moderator's supposed to make sure there's some sort of warning for any personal attack against the opponent.
Issa, he said he was joking. I'm not there.
Nah, I seen you attack the Sunnis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
No, you're not a Sunni, bro. If I attack Hebrews,
I'm a Sunni right now. Forget that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he did say he was joking. We could allow humor in it.
That's fine. We need the moderator to be very serious when
Yo,
it comes to this issue, right?
come out the emotions. Get me. Anyway, yeah. So we've all heard that argument before that follow the messenger means follow the hadiths now. You get me? But I want to know, how the hell someone is supposed to follow a message without following the messenger? You get me? that's crazy. You know what I mean? Obviously, in order to follow the message, you have to follow the messenger. You know what I mean? That's you get me? And anyway, to confirm what I'm saying, I've got another verse. Yeah.
Well, go on, give me the verse.
Okay, it is, and this one's directly for Issa as well. It means this is a share. Surah 6:14.
Surah 6, verse 14.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. The cattle. Can you see it?
Yeah. And
Your translation.
like this whole book is like named after the idols that was around the Kaaba, but that's a whole nother thing.
Take it shots, boy.
That's facts, boy.
Cheap shots, boy. Just cheap shots.
Like, why have you got a book called The Cow and the Cattle and the Fish and the Moon? All these things.
We get.
Anyway, I can see it on that.
Shaka, you got it. The verse you wanted. Huh?
It's there, the cattle, it's there. Surah
Yeah.
Al-Anam. I hope everyone's speaking about Arabic right now.
Oh, you can see it. Okay. All right. And I'll read it from what I've got now.
What's going on here? I can't see it at all.
Yeah, I can't see it either. I can't either, you know.
Oh,
yeah, now I can.
Are both of you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, now we can see it.
Right, so you have to bear in mind that there's a delay. Yes.
I'm not on YouTube, you know, but it's came up now, but there's still a delay though.
But, what I'm saying is it's the old thing. Okay, right. Say, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so we have to wait for it to refresh on or whatever YouTube. Okay, cool. Right, so Ezra, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, go on, do your thing.
And mine is this translation is the Halali Khan one. Yeah, and it says, "Shall I seek refuge other than Allah, while it is He who sent down unto you the book, explained in detail?" So look, like Issa has just said, basically, we have to follow these guys now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and we have to follow the messenger. But what does Allah say in the Quran? It says, yeah, shall I seek refuge other than Allah? So shall I go and seek knowledge, or shall I go and follow anyone else? Ali, Muhammad, this one, that one? No, according to the Quran. Yeah. While it is Allah who has sent down to you the book explained in detail. That's backing up the verse that I previously said. Yeah. That the book, yeah, is a clear book. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is now, for the brother Issa, yeah, I want to understand how, yeah, he can, you know, I want to know how he can explain seeking refuge from Ali, or asking Ali for help, or whatever it is that they do. Yeah, I want to understand how you can go to a hadith and get understanding on prayers or anything like that when it says, yeah, Allah has sent you down a book explained in detail. Yeah, and who, like, you shouldn't be seeking refuge from anyone else. So that includes all of these hadith writers, and that includes Muhammad himself. So I want to know how you're gonna get around that one.
Okay, so Shakara, I would just I'll use the same verse to obviously assist your edification, which is simply this. Let's read the verse and let me help you understand the verse.
The same verse again?
Yeah, I'm going to use the same verse to help you understand. Okay?
Got it.
So it says, this is Mohsin Khan translation. So it says, screen keeps changing. Shall I take as a wali, a helper, protector, etc., any other than Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth? And it is he who feeds but is not fed. Say, verily, I am commanded to be the first of those who submit themselves to Allah, and be not you of the mushrikeen, the polytheists, idolaters, etc. So clearly what we have here, there, Ezra, the verse gives you all the context you need. When it says that those people are seeking partners and they're idolaters, they're praying to other than Allah and seeking, let's say, Alat or Al-Uzar or Manat, they're seeking other so-called gods as protectors, etc. So with us, we worship Allah and we pray to Allah. I agree. There are some groups of Shia, like there are some groups of Sunni, who may go astray from this verse. But as I follow the Islam of the Quran, I can never be held responsible for those people that do not follow the Quran, despite they have that opinion. Just like you yourself, Ezra, could not be held responsible for, let's say, certain groups of Hebrews whom you distance yourself from. So that's why I say, let's stick to what the Quran says. What it appears at this moment in time, Ezra, is you have no proof of to support the claim that you commonly put in the chat, which is not this idea that we, use other than the Quran or Imam Ali and so on. Your common thing is about us worshiping a black rock and a square building or something like
Nah,
that.
but you know what it is? The problem is the same problem we're having now. Yeah, is that when I do provide that evidence, yeah, which is right here, yeah, when I do provide the evidence, all you're gonna do is say the exact same thing what you just said. Oh, this is something that the Shias do, but I follow the Islam of the Quran. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like you're not being fair there, because in some things you're gonna use the hadiths. Yeah, you go outside the Quran for some things, and you use the hadiths. Yeah, when it suits you. But when it's something that doesn't suit you, you reject the hadiths and you only want to stay in the Quran. That's not
No.
hypocritical. Huh?
No. There's never a rejecting the hadith and only stay in the Quran. It's rejecting hadith which doesn't coincide with the verses of the Quran. So the whole all of it is about.
But is that subjective though? That's subjective now, because then that's down to you, yeah, and whether you think it coincides or not. But what did the scholars say? You get me? So like, you have scholars in your thing. Get me? You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's what I'm saying. But in the Quran, it does not tell me that I'm subjected to the opinion of scholars. So that's why I read the verse when it says, "Obey Allah, obey the Messenger, and those in authority from among you," because that's a command from Allah.
So
It would.
ain't the scholars in authority among you?
Oh no. This is I was just about to say, because the command is from Allah in the Quran, it would need Allah to tell the Prophet, who would tell us who those people in authority are, and you would need to go to the Hadith for that. So what I'm saying, in relation to what you're saying, in regards to the Blackstone, I mean, by all means, if just think of it like this: if you're claiming that this is an Islamic practice of worshiping a black rock, then surely that must be rooted in the Quran, and you wouldn't need to scurry around for hadith. I guarantee you, I will not be looking. I will not be looking at the Babylonian Talmud or any other.
No, but Issa, can you see the hypocrisy though? Can you see the hypocrisy? Yeah, you've just stated that for one thing, yeah, like to understand who to go and seek in authority, you have to go outside the Quran. Yeah, but then when it's for knowledge of the Blackstone and how to worship it, yeah, and all these things, you want to stay inside the Quran, which is, I think, is just unfair, bro.
No. All right, let me explain. What I'm saying is, whatever you're saying must be rooted. So, for instance, if you have a verse which says "bow down to the black stone," and then you have a hadith which elaborates how or whatever, but it has to be something rooted in that particular thing. So, for instance,
okay, Issa,
yeah.
go on. I get you. So, for that point, yeah, I want to ask, yeah, being as you're saying, I want to know who is it? If it's not the scholars, then who is in authority among you today?
The Quran and basically what's there with us. So the hadith, the knowledge that we have.
so wait there. I've been posting verses that says, yeah, the Quran is a clear and precise book, yeah, that you don't need no other text in it. You get me? It's a clear, it's a detailed. No, the Quran says it's a detailed explanation of everything, yeah, everything. So what I'm saying is, you then said no, we have to follow these people who in authority, yeah, and then that takes you outside the Quran. So when I'm saying let's follow the people in authority to let's find out about the Blackstone, you don't want to do it now. You only
No, I
study the
don't,
Quran.
Ezra. I don't mind. I'm saying that what, in other words, you can bring a hadith, but it has to, if it doesn't contradict the Quran, I can only accept it if it don't contradict the Quran. That's what I'm saying. So you yourself should be able to match it with a Quranic verse.
All right, and well, you know that there's a. All right, one second. So what's now?
What's wrong with this computer?
What's Quran?
What did this thing?
What?
Now my computer just playing games.
No. No. No.
No.
Daddy knows.
Okay then. Do you pray towards the Kaaba, Issa?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Does the Quran tell you to do so?
From what I remember, it doesn't say the Kaaba, but it says towards that place. From what I remember, towards Mecca.
So why? Obviously, Mecca is a land. So why are you praying towards a man-made building?
Because that's the instructions that we have in the tradition of in the tradition of the Prophet. So this is something
so
clearly
it's not
which
Quranic.
the Prophet.
So that's not Quranic. That it's in the tradition.
That's what I'm saying. It's something like, for instance, because praying was something that's 5 times a day. Obviously, it's not going to be something you can contaminate to that degree. You know what I'm saying?
But the Quran doesn't even tell you to pray 5 times a day. So, like, you're not dealing with Quranic Islam. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're. This is the problem. You're claiming that to deal with Quranic Islam, but yeah, you're going outside of it for near enough all of your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like it's a bit hypocritical, fam. You know what I mean? And you're leaving yourself in a position where you're trying not to be able to be questioned, because what you're saying is, okay, then, like, it's all subjective to you. I can follow the hadith when I want, yeah, if I feel it's in line with the Quran.
All right, Ezra, I'll give you some talking about, and then you can tell me what you think, yeah?
Yeah, go on then.
All right? Okay, so it's chapter verse 142, 143, and then 144.
Issa, you're cutting out. Yeah? So come again, please.
Okay, so I said I'm going to give the verse that I was talking about to Ezra, and then he can respond in kind. So Surah 2, Surah Baqarah, verse 142, 143, and 144. Okay, so basically we have here, the one I'm referring to is 144, and it says, "Verily we have seen the turning of your face towards the heaven. Surely we shall turn you to a Qibla, which is a prayer direction, that shall please you. So turn your face in the direction of Al-Masjid Al-Haram, which is at Mecca." Right? So we have the instruction here of the Qibla. So there you go, bro. You do have a verse. It doesn't say that, it doesn't mention Black Rock or anything like that, but obviously you're aware of Mecca, right?
Sorry, did you say that the verse that you read from just now was verse 30? Sorry, 144, yeah?
Sorry, yeah, can you get it up? Sorry, Shakra.
I've already been up.
Which one did you read? 144?
Yeah, 144, yeah, that's the one I read.
Okay. It's a long verse, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. Here we go.
Oh,
So it says, verily, we have seen the turning of your Muhammad, peace be upon his face, towards the heaven. Surely we shall turn you to a Qibla, prayer direction, that shall please you. So turn your face in the direction of Al-Masjid Al-Haram at Mecca, and whosoever, you people are, turn your faces in prayer in that direction. Certainly the people who were given the scripts, i.e. Jews and Christians, know well that that you're turning towards the direction of the Kaaba at Makkah in prayers is the truth from their Lord, and Allah is not unaware of what they do.
So, thank you very much, Brother Shakara. As you can see, I mean, it's very clear that we are given a direction of prayer as a collective.
Sorry, Issa, I must ask the moderator's point here, because any time that Mecca is mentioned here, it's in brackets.
In brackets, yeah.
exactly.
Right. So and to be fair, so is Muhammad. So it must be asked that are the words in brackets in the Arabic, the original Arabic?
No, definitely it's not. But the issue here is process of elimination. Well, number one, what else could it be? But let's say it was somewhere else. The whole point that Ezra's taking exception to is that we are praying towards a certain place on earth in the
No, it's
sense of
not.
a building. So, oh, sorry, I thought
No,
that's
it's
what
not.
you just said. We prayed to a
No,
building,
no.
but all right.
No,
Well,
I asked
all right.
you. First I asked you if you pray towards the Kaaba, innit?
Yes.
You said yes.
Okay.
And I'm saying, like, so where do you get that from? Because, like I said, like there's nowhere in the Quran that tells you to pray to that.
Okay, hold on. Masjid al-Haram is the Kaaba in Mecca. The whole precinct, yes, is called Haram, which means there are
Yes,
certain things that are
forbidden,
prohibited in that area.
idols. Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, it is. That's why it was called Masjid al-Haram, because come on, you know that.
No, no, no,
So
no,
what I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
is,
no. No, it's something, bro. If you understand the Hajj, you've got something called Ihram, a state where you put on the white garments, where certain things are forbidden to do in this precinct. So that's what it's saying. You're not allowed to hunt game, and there's various other things you're not allowed to do. So it's not as simple as
yeah, I
what you're.
understand that there's rules in the place, but what I'm saying is, yeah, like beforehand, it was called, like, Muhammad named it that when they destroyed the idols, innit? That's what I'm saying.
What
So
however you want to say it, the point is that Masjid al-Haram is this same place. So in fact, however you want
but
to.
it's not though, because like I said, like it's not even on the same foundation, firstly, yeah. And secondly, like, fair enough, it's telling you to pray to this masjid, yeah, but it's not telling you to go and circle it 7 times. Yeah, it's not telling you to go and do all these practices that you guys do. And this is the thing, like, and that's what I was saying earlier. Most of your beliefs and the stuff that you do, yeah, are not inside of this Quran, but yet you're claiming to deal with Quranic Islam.
Ezra, hold on. You just said before that nothing is saying to pray to this direction. I brought you a
No,
verse. That was your claim until I brought the verse. Now I got the verse.
yeah,
You
no,
want to shape shift and say something else?
brother, I knew about the Masjid al Haram already, but what I'm saying is, firstly, that's not even on the foundations of. So where you're praying, the reason why you're praying to where you're praying to now is because of the hadiths.
I would
I'm
say
saying
tradition, but let's say it's the hadith. What's your problem?
tradition, same thing. Get me?
No,
It's
no.
outside the Quran.
What I'm saying to you is, if there was a practice, because it's a physical building, because people have been doing Hajj ever since the Kaaba was built, obviously it's going to be a normal tradition. People are not going to be like, oh, is this the place? You know what I mean? So it's been there for so long, brother. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand, but can you understand my point, though? That, like,
I understand what you're saying, but neither me.
these practices that these practices that Sunni and Shia do, yeah, at the Kaaba, none of it's Quranic. So don't forget, I have to stick with your argument now. I could easily go to a hadith, yeah, and prove what I'm saying, but you're gonna reject it and say it's not Quranic. So I'm just sticking with this now, yeah. And I'm saying,
I mean,
according
no,
to
that's not true.
the Quran, these practices are not there.
No. The only thing we were talking about is praying in this direction. That was
that's
the point you made.
No, I'm talking about, for me, it's a whole topic. I get it. Yeah, that direction.
Okay.
You do have a qibla, I get it. Yeah, you have a direction to pray in. Get me? But what I'm saying is, like the practices around it. Because you're claiming to deal with
so that's
only...
a second point. Let's do,
no,
so that's a second point.
No, it's 1 point, Issa. You get me? What I'm saying is those practices, like they are coming from what is outside the Quran. But yet you're gonna, and this is the thing, I'm sure everyone can see what's going on here now. You get me? Like you're gonna go to the hadiths when it comes to praying and stuff like that. Hadiths are cool, they're fine. You get me? Even though 5 prayers is nowhere in the Quran, you can't back it up with the Quran at all. Yeah, you get me? But you're still gonna do these 5 prayers and say, yeah, it's fine. You get me?
Well, how many prayers do you think are in the Quran?
It tells you to do 3.
It says 3 periods.
Yeah.
And we still agree on the 3 periods. Number 1 is the Fajr time, and the 2 Salah, which are Dhuhr and Asr, are in one particular period. Likewise, Maghrib and Isha, they're in one particular period. So the 3 periods mentioned in the Quran are still recognized.
Yeah, I get that. I get the 3, but what I'm saying is the Quran gives you 3 prayers a day. Yeah, and you now have 5.
Not. It's
well,
like
it does. Does it give you 5? Does it tell you to pray 5 times a day in the Quran?
Not in that way, no.
Well, then, so stop being silly. Yeah, what I'm saying is, in the Quran, there's 3 prayers, bro. Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Can
you prove that? This is the problem. If you were to go to the
I'm asking if the then. All right, then I'm telling you, like, what my point is, there's 3 prayers. Yeah, it gives you 3 different times for prayer to go and pray in the Quran. Yeah, and you are praying 5 times, which is not found in the Quran.
No, hold on. You agree to
Issa, 1 second. Issa, let me make the point. Yeah. I understand that you're praying 3 different periods 5 times a day, but what I'm saying is the Quran is not giving you nowhere. Is it telling you to go and pray 5 times a day?
Okay.
And you accepted that?
Okay, hold on. So within these 3 periods, how many times am I limited to praying? So for instance, if I have between 12 o'clock when the sun passes the straight horizontal period, which is the Dhuhr prayer, down unto the Asr prayer, which is 1 period described in the Quran. If we have that as 1 period but 2 prayers, how are you saying, that I can't do 2 prayers in that? Because I mean, if you wanted to say I could do 5 within each period, then what's the deal? The point is that you're suggesting we worship a black rock and we pray towards this black rock in this square building.
No, my point is that you and your specific set 5 prayers a day are coming from men and not the Quran.
Well, who gave me the Quran? Was it men or not?
I'm saying obviously men gave you the Quran, but men are not giving you the guidance from the Quran, innit? That's meant to be from Allah, innit? According to you. So what I'm saying is, if Allah's telling you, Allah gives you a book now, and this book has 3 prayers in there. Yeah. You now are following a set system of 5 prayers a day. Yeah. And I'm saying that system has came through men. It's not Quranic.
Oh, all right. So I'll remind you of the verse which says, "Oh, you who believe, obey Allah, obey the messenger, and those in authority from among you." So if those in authority from among you have confirmed that the Prophet said to pray these 5 prayers at these times, likewise, we're just going to follow not only the Prophet, but those in authority from among us appointed by Allah and the messenger. So I'm trying to bring you back to your original thing that we worship a black rock. And so on. You seem to probably not have any evidence that we worship a black rock.
I mean, I've got evidence. I've got hundreds of pictures here. I've just been screenshotting loads of you like in Iran praying to your Kaaba. Yeah. So
I mean,
that's
fine. I'm just talking about the black rock. I mean, you haven't even mentioned
how much evidence
anything
you
about
want, bro? I'm saying, you've made yourself your own black rock and your own Kaaba in Iran.
No. Apparently, that's for practice before they go there. But even if that's the case, let me actually go to another verse. Shakara, if you're there, please, can we go to chapter 3, verse 31, please?
Surah 3, verse 31. Let's go to the 3, verse 31. Surat Al-Imran.
That's right.
Family of Imran. All right.
I'll just, yeah. Let's have a look. It doesn't seem to have come up on a YouTube just yet.
Yeah, it's there.
Is it? Okay.
You gotta get beaten.
YouTube runs a bit behind.
No, right. So it says in chapter 3, verse 31. Very simply, say, O Muhammad, to mankind, if you really love Allah, then follow me. So, you know, Allah will love you and forgive your sins, and Allah is oft forgiven, most merciful. So, if you love Allah, then you follow the Prophet, peace be upon him. So, I want you to think about this very carefully. If the human being is looking at the Prophet Muhammad when the Prophet is told to pray, whether it's 3 or 4, or whatever it is, so if he prays 5 times a day, the Muslim watching him, who is following him, is going to copy and imitate those 5 prayers. If he goes around the Kaaba and throws rocks over here and goes up a mountain over here and so on, we're going to follow him as instructed by the Quran or instructed by Allah in the Quran. Hence, we are following the Islam of the Quran, making it totally necessary to follow the Sunnah. Now, if you use this verse in relation to other verse, again, you have the perfect combination to tell you that there are instructions and guidelines. Hold on, bro. Instructions and guidelines outside the Quran. So, you know, I'm still waiting for the Black Rock.
This proves my point again. You get me? This is that. So now you've got problems because look, now if the Quran tells you to how much times? Yeah, 3 times. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wait there. Come on, hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yo. Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah, so I'm saying, okay, then you've got this Quran now that tells you it gives you 3 prayers, and like you said, yeah, people see Muhammad praying 5 times and they go and follow him in it. But what does this say? So basically, to get judgment on that situation, you get me, on how to pray, they follow the Prophet in it. But what does the Quran say? Shall I seek a judge other than Allah, while he is he who has sent down to you the book? So what I'm saying is, yeah, you shouldn't be looking for watching what Muhammad's doing, because Allah has sent you down a clear book. And Brother Shaka, can we go to another verse here?
Yep.
Surah 41.
It says judge, so it means when you're judging between what's right and wrong and so on. So that's
exactly.
That's a different context. Yeah.
So if you're judging between whether 3 prayers or 5 prayers or 25 prayers, what do you do?
You follow the Prophet. No, because Allah told us to follow the Prophet. So obviously what he does.
What does this verse say? Wait there, 1 second. This verse says, shall I seek a judge other than Allah?
I need a verse. You see something, Surah 41.
Oh, yeah, Surah 41 and 3. But back to you, Issa. For this verse here, it says, like you said, that's for judgment between certain matters. But what does this say? Shall I seek a judge other than Allah, while it is he who sent down to you the book? So what I'm saying is, yeah, you shouldn't be looking at what Muhammad's doing according to this verse, because
you seem to be misunderstanding what it's saying. I mean, we can go to the verse and read the context and so on, the verses before and after if you want, but I mean, it should be very clear when it's talking about judgment. So obviously, when you're judging between things, this could be in relation to laws of society, with justice. I mean, when you're talking about prayers, I mean, what kind of judgments are you dealing with prayers? It would just be following, because I can take you to the verse which says, and bow down.
Do you pray on top of your head? Do you pray like you know what I'm saying? All these things in it.
All right. The verse which says, and bow down with those who bow down, speaking to the children of Israel. What do you think of that, Ezra?
What verse? Say that again. Which verse?
Let's have a look. Yeah, Bani Israel. So you don't know the verse where it tells children of Israel bow down with those who bow down?
Nah, the Quran tells the children of Israel to follow their own covenant. Like,
Nice.
we're free from all that. So are you. You get anyway.
How long have we spent on Ezra's topic? What's the name? Shakara.
I actually wasn't timing.
Okay.
Only because you said I didn't have to, but it would be about 45 minutes.
We started at 10, right?
About that, yeah. So like, in terms given after introductions and so on and so forth, it'd be about 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I mean, Ezra, you said you had some hadith. It's up to you if you want to bring them and we could deal with them. I mean, we've seen very clear that we're commanded to face the Masjid al-Haram, which clearly, you know, is generally Mecca. I mean, I'm not sure whichever place you would claim it to be, which I find quite funny.
Well, it's like according to like your oldest, all of your oldest mosques are pointing to Petra.
Yeah,
So,
I have heard about that. The oldest Qiblas apparently
Jordan,
say where it's supposed to be. I mean, even if you want to say Petra, the first point was you would agree that it's still a building because it's a Masjid al-Haram, right? You would still agree it's a building, right?
yeah.
Okay, good. So we're dealing with idol worship according to you, and we're bowing down to certain buildings and so on.
Yeah.
If you want,
What I'm saying is, when you go on your Hajj, yeah, because the Quran talks about you going on your Hajj, yeah, that's Quranic, yeah. But the stuff that you do there, all that idolatry, yeah, circling the thing, kissing up the thing, all of that, that's not Quranic. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is my point.
okay. I mean, but
That's
that's
idolatry.
okay.
Yeah.
To
Do you
the
admit
Hajj.
that? All right, Issa, wait there. First to get a little bit forward here. Do you admit that anybody who kisses up that stone, yeah, or circles the thing 7 times is doing idolatry?
No, not at all. This is something known as rituals, which is very much done throughout the ancients. Yes, it's very much a practice where as long as you do not think that the rock and the stone is answering your prayers, then obviously you're definitely not committing idol worship. We don't pray to the Blackstone, as you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay then. Do you, as as a Black Tellect Shia, yeah, do you believe that the Blackstone, yeah, as stated in hadiths, yeah, will bear witness for you on the day of judgment?
I have no idea about that. I've come across the hadith. I've never looked into whether it's authentic or not, because the Quran tells me that basically you will have your book written with your deeds, and you will have to account for what's in your book.
But
So
do you agree that is idolatry though, believing that a stone is going to testify for you?
not at all, because it's possible that even a tree or
The
anything else. Because that's what. No, what I'm saying to you is something that's inanimate can be brought to animation to testify something to its Lord. So that means the stone itself, let's say, could be a memory box or memory device which is recording information and then relaying it. I'm just saying could be in that context. It would never mean that it itself is worshipped. So even if, for instance, the book, the records, you know, are testifying, even if our arms and our limbs are testifying, that doesn't mean we worship them. By the way, I found the verse. Do you want me to read the verse regarding the children of Israel being commanded to bow down in the Quran with those who bow down?
Let Shaka find that other one. Yeah. Oh, brother Shaka, you found that other one. What number?
When it's the verse, I'll find it.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. All right then. I can't see it on there too good, so.
No, he hasn't told me the verse.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Oh no, 41 and 3.
Oh yeah, but this was here now. Yeah, that's what's here now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this one's Halali Khan, and it says, a book whereof the verses are explained in detail, a Quran in Arabic for the people who know. So again, this is claiming that it's a book, yeah, explained in detail, that these verses are explained in detail. So what does that mean? If it's talking about prayer, yeah, it's saying that this is explained in detail. So, like, you don't need to go any outside of this because it's in detail, innit? But what Brother Issa's doing, yeah, which is idolatry according to his own Quran. You get me? Like, if when we go to my thing, I'll prove that you just add this idolatry easily. But according to your own Quran, yeah, this is proving that you're idolatry. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, all I find is you beating the same dead horse, claiming the Quranist argument, and the Quranists are very, they're easy to refute. So, I mean, I was hoping to have a Hebrew debate where you claim we worship a black rock, and that was basically it.
Issa, you do worship a black rock, and I'm going to show you now the evidence of people doing it. Yeah, but you're going to say that you're free from that.
No. I'm saying in Islam, we have to have clear instructions that we pray to and ask for something from the black rock. That's what you do when you worship something, obviously. Yes?
All right, and watch this now then.
How long should we give Ezra to tie up what he's saying for me to get mine
Yeah,
on?
so with this now, all I was gonna do, yeah, is read some hadiths about this Blackstone, yeah, and how kissing it will give you, how kissing it will remove your sins, how kissing it will, one bag of paganism, yeah. And then I was gonna show images of this happening. You know what I'm saying?
Go
So,
ahead, bro. Go ahead. Make it happen.
all right, look. I'm gonna put the images in the back chat, yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, what, you can't share them from your screen now?
Nah, I'm on my phone still.
Okay, cool. Everybody man desktop nowadays, but the phone thing take over the world.
Edit. My laptop's at my mum's, man. Right.
You said it, yeah?
Yeah, one sec. Nah, I ain't sent it, one sec.
All right, cool.
Whew.
Right. There we go.
So is your basic evidence the pictures that people kiss it and all of that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But you
I've still not seen the link, by the way, in the chat.
No, it's coming.
to get this clear, are you saying that there's no clear verses according to you in the Quran that says we should worship this black stone, pray to it, or anything, correct?
Yeah, I'm saying that. But you doing it though?
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well, I mean, that's why the title was very brilliant. I can't wait to get onto your book.
Right. Narrated. Yeah. Right. One second. All right, here we go. Right. Narrated by Al-Timidi, 961, Ibn Majah, 294. Right. The black stone will come forth on the day of resurrection and will testify in favor of those who touched it in truth. So, like, that's no different to Hinduism. Yeah. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Yeah. It was narrated by Ibn Abbas the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings, yeah, anyway, said concerning the stone, by Allah, Allah will bring it forth on the day of resurrection, and it will have two eyes. With wait, one second. Allah will bring it forth on the day of resurrection, and it will have two eyes, with which it will see, and a tongue with which it will speak, and will testify in favor of those who touched it in sincerity. So wait there. Ibn Abbas, yeah, that's Ahlul Bayt right there. That's Ahlul Bayt, yeah. That's Ahlul Bayt, blood. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, yeah, my man's telling you, yeah, this thing is gonna have eyes, blood, and it's gonna have ears, yeah, and it's gonna testify for the people who touched it. So if this isn't Hinduism, yeah, and idolatry, then nothing is. Nah, you know what? What I do is I put the source in the chat. Yeah, I put a link and the screenshot. Oh gosh, there's so much. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Hey, what? I'm gonna put it in as I'm reading it. Yeah. This hadith was classed as Hassan. Yeah. By
In what book?
Al-Tirmidhi and
Tirmidhi, the
as
Sunni book. I thought you had Shia sources, but that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
You want? No, I've got they're all here. Shia and Sunni. Get me?
Okay.
So wait there.
I think you got 10 minutes left still, man. Sure, come.
All right, now I'm just gonna read a few of these, show you the images and class. You get me? I've already showed you Ibn Abbas. That's a Shia. You get me? So wait there. Right, touching or pointing to the Blackstone. This one. Look, the Prophet, peace and all of that, yeah. Kissed the Blackstone and his Uman. The Prophet kissed the Blackstone and his Uman followed his lead by doing so. So that's what I'm saying. Narrated by Bukhari, Muslim. All right, I'm gonna post them all in the chat now.
Is there an image or something that's supposed to be up?
Yeah,
Chakra?
yeah. Now someone come in one sec. Yeah, Issa has a mazaf. I'm like, what the hell? How's the thing gonna get eyes, bro? Like, this is coming from his cousin now, so you can't even say that this ain't Shia thing. Yeah. All I'm saying is, how is this Blackstone gonna get eyes? You like call the Hindus pagans for what? Because they bow down to their little man-made thing and believe it's got power to do this and do that. You call them pagans for that. But then you believe this Blackstone's gonna get eyes and ears and start talking and stuff. You get me? It's a mad thing. You get me? This is idolatry. Yeah. And wait there. Shaka, look out for the things now. They're coming in the back.
Cool. Oh, from the other father.
1, 2. Yeah, I've just posted them, still descending. So yeah, with that, I'll move on.
So it seems you've got some things to respond to there, Issa.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see the pictures he's talking about. Generally, we have a very simplistic presentation. The simplest way to just refute such ridiculous claims is this. Number one, in no prayer that we do we mention the Kaaba. We do not mention the Kaaba or the Blackstone and pray to it in the sense of, a fully conscious knowledge that we're praying to anything on this earth, neither a square building nor a Blackstone. Clearly, those who worship Krishna, Shiva, and so on, and Buddha statues, they're fully aware of what they're doing when it comes to believing that these idols, these statues, actually have some kind of power, or at least intermediary power in relation to communicating with spiritual energies, universal energies, or the spirits of their gods coming in them, various different means. So they will have incense, they will have mantras, they will have verses of recitation, which include the names of their gods, whether it be
Oh
Krishna,
my gosh.
Vishnu, etc. So unfortunately, our brother Ezra has failed thoroughly, not providing one sentence which shows that we actually worship a Blackstone square building, etc. You could say, well, people have become enamored with this. People have, we have hadith which say it's going to mention certain things on the day of judgment, etc. That can be subject to interpretation. One of the things that is not subject to interpretation is the clear facts that Ezra has failed miserably to show anything clear regarding the
Yeah.
alleged
I,
worship.
I must push you for an interpretation though, or a refutation of the
Edit.
of the
Television.
hadiths. So are these hadiths authentic or not? And if they are authentic, what is the interpretation?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about the hereafter, we're talking about a next life where many things become different to this world. So, the concept of eternity, I mean, what does that mean to a being that can only live maybe 120 years, bruv? I mean, the various ways of being able to do whatever you want, fly wherever you want, sit wherever you want, or being in heaven with angels, or a crystal city
Oh
coming
my
out of the
God.
sky, like
Oh.
in Revelation. I mean, these are things that are generally supposed to be beyond the comprehension in this world. So when you're telling me, there's a Blackstone, get eyes in a mouth and testify, very simple. These are things beyond our general comprehension, just like most of the things that are spoken of in the afterlife of the Bible and the Quran. Now, I think, he has tried very much and failed miserably. I would demonstrate exactly how you achieve the proving of your premise and the refutation of your opponents.
Are you
Let me
gonna
know
address the hadith at any point?
which one, the one with the face, with the
Any
eyes.
of them? Any of them? Yeah.
He kind of has, in the sense of the fact that he's saying that it's symbolic. After basically it's the hereafter, so it's symbolic. Anything can go on the hereafter, basically.
So he
But
doesn't. So he
what
doesn't believe you.
he
That's the
hasn't
problem.
is whether the hadith is authentic or not.
Yeah, it's
That's what I'm
authentic,
saying. He
and
quoted.
it's
Remember, he
Hassan. Hassan
a
means
Sunni
good.
book.
You know what I mean?
He quoted
So what I'm saying
Tamidi,
is, huh?
which is a Sunni hadith book. So I don't
No,
know.
okay, then look, no, but I quoted Ibn Abbas. That wasn't even in no Timidi. So you being deceptive,
Wait,
bro.
wait, wait.
Get me? So wait
This is
there.
what I'm saying. Sunnis quote Ibn Abbas, they quote the Prophet, they quote Imam Ali, they quote Imam Hassan, they quote Ahlul Bayt all day, they still lie. So it don't matter what they say Imam Ibn Abbas said or what they said the Prophet, they lie on the Prophet all day. So if they lie on Ibn Abbas, what difference does that make? You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
then look. All right, look. Let me show you that. Let me show you why Issa's a
One second, one second, one
okay.
second, one second, one second. The question is, from the hadith that he quoted, is it recognized as authentic according to you or the Shia tradition?
I've heard different Shias say a similar thing, but I'm saying in regards to myself, in relation to the hereafter, it can be authentic, but what difference does it make? So if let's say I go with yes, hold on, let's say I go with yes, the Blackstone, let's say testifying against us, would be Allah animating that object to speak. It would not be us worshipping the object. So regardless of whether it's your house or the floor, for instance, it said that every place that you pray, that will also testify on your behalf to say you prayed here. So I'm saying all of these things are not very conscious. Even in the tradition of, I think it's the Hadith as well as the Quran, it says that your limbs will also testify against yourself. Your mouth will be sealed shut, and your hands will testify about the sins or even good deeds that you've done, your feet will testify against yourself. Now, this could be symbolic expression for the psychology of being conscious of what you do with your actions, or it could be literal. My point is, in these things becoming animate and doing things in the hereafter, it is nothing to do with us allegedly worshipping them. So you can say they're wayward beliefs, you can say they're strange beliefs, has nothing to do with idol worship. Let's stick to the premise as it's very clear, and Ezra has failed, and
All
that's
right,
fine.
and watch this now. No. You see, look,
All right, Ezra,
well,
sorry,
firstly,
Ezra, I
go
will
on, Shaka.
I will say, yeah,
Go on.
we do have to wrap this up in 5 minutes so that Issa can
Yeah, my and I'm just
yeah.
gonna, you know what it is? I'm just gonna say this and then read one thing, and then obviously we can just end it there, innit?
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is, look, yeah, I've proved, yeah, that, because don't forget, he wanted, we know the title, it's Quranic, innit? So we had to stick inside the borders of the Quran, otherwise he's gonna flip flop. We knew that, yeah. So what I had to do was prove that he was being idolatrous according to the Quran, which I did, yeah. Then I went out to talk about the Blackstone, and I proved according to the Muhammad's cousin, which is Ahlul Bayt, yeah, and it's a Hassan hadith, which means it's good, yeah. So basically, according to Ahlul Bayt, this thing is gonna have eyes and ears, and they believe it's gonna testify for them, which by our definition, yeah, and by most people's definition, is idolatry, yeah. And I'm gonna end by reading this, yeah, which Issa would never mention, yeah, but let's bring it out, yeah. In the hadiths, this is from a Shia website, by the way. I'll post it in the back. In hadiths, especially ones reported by Shias, the black stone has been mentioned frequently with the term al-Hajar. It is, for example, said that the black stone was originally one of the angels that had entered the divine covenant. So wait there. According to these, man, yeah, that dirty black stone, yeah, was an angel.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not bringing that out, Issa. Huh?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Covering the
No,
truth much? Yeah.
no,
Anyway.
bro, listen. It's you
And
bring your evidence
let me
to it.
read. I'm reading. Let me equate. Yeah. Yeah. That. So it is said, for example, the Blackstone was originally one of the angels that entered the divine covenant. So God had made that angel a faithful guardian of the creatures and had deposited the covenant of all the servants with him. God then called all creatures to renew their oath with the angel of the covenant. God has set that angel in Adam's company in order to remind him of his oath and the covenant. But when Adam disobeyed God and fell out of heaven and repented, God sent down the angel as a white gemstone so that it could remind him of his forgotten oath. Bro, yo,
Thank you.
mad thing. Get me.
All right.
So that's that. Do you believe? Wait. Do you believe that's the angel, bro?
No, I have no reason to believe it's an angel. It looks like a black meteorite. And they generally have had very much importance amongst ancient cultures across the world. So I have no problem with that.
Sorry.
Do you believe it's wait? Do you believe it's the right hand of Allah? Which there's a Sahih hadith, yeah, saying that this stone is the right hand of Allah. Do you believe that?
No, I can see no reason why. You'd have to give me more detailed information, because obviously when it talks about right hand in Arabic, for instance, in the Quran it says Allah's hand is upon their hands, and that's not literal. So if you say right hand, it depends what it means and in what context. So it's not a literal hand. It could be in the sense of a power and a force, or representing something
But
of
what does it
guidance.
say though? What does it
But
say?
you're the one
Like,
reading the hadith, bruv. So I'm just going off what you're reading.
I'm just saying if
I
it.
need to clarify something though, Ezra, for the sake of the listening public here, because in your tradition, there are angels, correct?
Yeah.
So the because you're probing the question of idolatry and the existence of angels.
Hold on, Shakra. Don't do that. Please. No more. No more.
He
My own
knows where that's
thing to
going.
do with him.
All
Yes,
right.
the
Well,
whole
okay.
thing.
I didn't think I was I didn't think I was probing.
Nah,
No,
because
that's fine.
none of my angels don't turn into no stones, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like we don't. Like that's
Okay.
the
All
difference.
right. I'll leave it. I'll leave it there for the sake of the debate.
That's
got him.
that's. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Big up though.
All right. So big up for that, and we thank Ezra for being brave enough to step forth in representation of the Hebrew Israelites. We have Brother Chemo Ben Israel. We have Now or Never, and several others who like to make comments in the chat. We have Isle, the apparent Somali Hebrew Israelite or something like that, or the Caribbean Israelite. Yeah, so unfortunately, all of you are going to take the blow or feel the blow that Ezra is about to get. So prepare yourself, take a seat, maybe even make sure you're in a comfy chair, or even lay down and listen to what Issa, the Black Tellect, brings to the table of smashing over the my opponent and his faulty claims, when I will be strictly using your book, the so-called Torah or the Bible. Yes.
Okay.
So
So just to clarify now, yeah, we have switched the context of the debate at the moment because we are going to be probing now the Hebrew doctrine. So Issa is going to be probing the Hebrew doctrine. So we've concluded with Brother Ezra's probing of the Muslim doctrine or the doctrine of Islam, and now we're going to be going on to the reverse. Brother Issa has some things to challenge in relation to the subject of idolatry and the Hebrew doctrine. My job is just the moderator, so I'll come in and ask questions as and where questions need to be asked or points of clarity. Yeah, I'll continue to do that. So go ahead, Brother Issa.
yes, my brother, can you please turn to Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, please?
He's in now. So we're going to go into the good book.
The good book. Tell him the good.
The good book. Exodus, yeah.
Chapter 20, verse 4.
All right, 1 second.
Or 4 and 5 even. 4 and 5.
20 and 4. Actually, it's the King James version. Oh, hold on. Sorry, my computer is slowing down on me. 1 second. All right, King James.
That's the Hebrew juju. We have to be careful with the Hebrew juju. That's the Hebrew jinn. They're known to do a lot of magic according to Islamic tradition, so we got to be careful with the children of Israel.
Okay.
Magic.
Right. Is the BibleGateway.com acceptable to Brother Ezra?
As long as
Bible.com.
it's King
Yeah,
James.
as long as it's King James. Yeah.
As long as it's King James. All right. 1 second. I got King James online actually. Let me go to that one instead. King James Bible online. Right. Can you see it, Brother Issa?
Hold on. Let's have a look right here. Oh, beautiful. Yes. Yeah, I can. Yeah, can you scroll what would it be, down, I think, from your so I can see more. Yeah, so if you can make me see more further down. Yeah, that's it. Pause right there. If you can increase the clarity or size of the words, it would help a good deal. Right. Okay. So obviously at the same time of showing that based upon the criteria brought forth by Ezra and the other Hebrew Israelites, I'm going to demonstrate that not only does this book contradict itself and thus not the word of God, but also that it definitely instructs them directly into what they would say is idol worship. So if you can scroll down a bit, because I can only see like the first two sentences or first two lines, if you can.
What verse we in? Sorry. I was just doing
So
something.
in chapter
verse 4.
verse 4, I'm gonna.
What do you say? Exodus.
Yes, 20, verse 4.
Okay.
I'm actually going to read from 1. It's not, they're very short sentences. So, chapter Exodus, verse 1 throughout 2. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, till 5. Yeah. So let's say chapter Exodus, chapter 20, verse 4, verse 1 to 5 of Exodus. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right there, what
Thou
verse?
shalt.
This ain't that verse.
No, he's given the context, Ezra. So he's going from 1 to 5, but the verse in question is verse 4. Yeah.
But that ain't verse 1, no. Exodus 30.
No, Exodus 20.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
screen, brother.
go on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So and spake God, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. Now, what I will demonstrate is that this same God who we're speaking of here.
Read.
No, bruv, it's my evidence. You can't interrupt me, man.
Can't read half a verse, blood.
Bruv, I could. What the hell?
Go on.
To be fair, Ezra, he stopped at verse 5. You can continue the verse when you're responding to him if you want. When
If
you're
you
responding.
think it makes a difference.
Yeah.
In fact, let me read it because this
This
would
is
also
talking
make
about slavery. Bring it out, bro. This is why we was in slavery 400 years. Bring
I
it
know,
out.
but that's not the subject matter, bro. This is
done.
not the
I know,
subject
but
matter.
it's one verse in it. Just read the verse, bro.
It's not the subject matter. You know what? I'll do that, but then it's going to make it worse for you. Okay, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and
Nah,
keep
that
my.
was it. That's the next verse now. That was one verse.
Bruv, we're going up, bruv. You can't keep interrupting.
No, to be fair, no, but he was after you to complete the verse, which is verse 5. So verse 6 is no way.
Why are you reading
Bruv,
it?
I'm supposed to be giving my evidence, and there should be no
do your
noise.
thing. Alright, do your thing.
Yeah, he's entitled to read it if he wants, as well. So yeah.
Alright, do your thing.
What? And showing mercy unto thousands that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So what I would like to demonstrate for you lot is the fact that the unfortunate Hebrews have been given conflicting commands by their God. On the one hand, this God is saying, you shall have no other gods before me, thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything in the heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or in the water underneath the waters. And thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Because this God is a jealous God. But we're also going to prove this God is a bipolar God, a very confused God, and all the
Don't
other.
disrespect. Don't disrespect.
Bruv, stop the thing, man. You've been doing that all a while, bruv. Don't interrupt. A very confused God, and having all the psychological problems, psychosis that any God could have. Never mind the four-head Hindu God or the four arms or whatever he got. This God here is very confused. So, our brother, if we can please go to, let me see now. Let's go direct to. Right. Let's go to 1 Kings, please.
Right now, we're gonna go to the book of 1 Kings, chapter and verse.
Chapter 6.
After like some incense and burn out this Issa, get me. I got this spirit in my yard, like, talking this madness.
Man, it's like a ganja. Go on. Anyway, what's it called? Yeah, go on.
6:26. Chapter 6, verse 26.
1 Kings, chapter 6, verse 26. Please open your good book to 1 Kings, chapter 6, verse 26. Thus saith the Lord.
Yes, the Lord saith a lot of contradictory commands. That's the problem with this God. That's for sure.
You idiot. So, go on.
No ad homs. You've been disrespecting Blackstone and all kind of stuff, bro.
All right,
Now,
it's there now.
okay. What happened? The screen gone off.
No, it's there.
No, it keeps coming.
What's it name?
You have to click on it, Issa. Click on his screen and it'll stay on.
No, I'm talking about the YouTube one. That's the one I'm watching.
Oh, just watch it from Hangouts. That's delayed. Watch it on Hangouts and click his screen, like his little box.
I want to make sure they're seeing it as I read it. I don't want them to come late.
Yeah, I can see it on the screen. It's definitely there.
Okay. Do you all know what this is in relation to? If we can, in fact, can we go further up so people know?
It's the Ark of the Covenant.
Hold on. If we can go further up.
So what verse?
Try about 15, please.
15.
Yeah.
Book of Kings, chapter 6.
Oh yeah. I know.
Actually, stop there. Start 15. Yeah. So, for those who know that there was a temple built and a house built unto the Lord, the same God of Israel. So if we can go back to to whatever one I gave you, 26, please.
Verse 26 now.
Yeah. I just wanted to go to that one to read where Solomon said this. So we have here, we have cherubim being built. The height of one cherubim was 10 cubits, and so was it of the other cherubim. And he set the cherubims within the inner house, and they stretched forth their wings of the cherubims, so that the wing of the one touched the one wall, and the wing of the other cherubim touched the other wall, and their wings touched one another in the midst of the house. So what we have here is a specific place made by King Solomon under the instructions of the Most High God that said not to make any graven images. So apparently this God is going to punish you for making graven images. Then is going to give you the instructions to make graven images in the same house that is dedicated to him. A very strange and confused God. In relation to that, let's go to another word. So if we can go to, please.
Is this next verse, is it in relation to the same thing?
Yeah,
No. What I'm asking is because if not, in all fairness, I do have to give Ezra a right of reply before you move on to the next subject.
No. This is all part of the same evidence, bro. Yeah, it's directly related, all of it.
All right, go.
The next one is 8:29. Kings 1, 8:29. Yeah, same thing, just 8:29.
All right, we're going.
Start with 8:28, 8:26, etc.
Chapter 8, verse 28. So open up on the Bible right now. The First Kings, chapter 8, verse 28. Thus saith the Lord.
Okay, hold on. Start. Let me see what 26 is saying there. Go up a little bit. Okay, so it said, why? Oh, here we go. And so it says in 1 Kings 8:26, and now, O God of Israel, let thy word, I pray thee, be verified, which thou spakest unto thy servant David my father.
Yeah.
But you sure this is the King James Version, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And now, O God of Israel, let thy word, I pray thee, be verified, which I spoke unto thy servant David. But will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? Yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant and to his supplication. O Lord my God, to hearken unto thee, unto the cry, and to the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee today. Now, 29 is the one which we're coming to, which is the absolute smash. if you remember carefully, in the previous verse, I read that there were things called cherubim. For those who do not know, cherubim have wings, as it mentioned. They're generally considered either animal, lion type creatures or human type creatures which have wings. So it says in 29 that thine eyes may be open towards this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward this place. So what we have here is a God who's saying, don't bow down to any graven, don't make any graven image, and don't bow down to any. So are we going to check now to see if not only they're praying towards this place, but specifically bowing down? So if we can please go to the book of Joshua, which is Joshua 7, verses 6 and 7,
So wait,
please.
you're saying this is the same place that before you move on, yeah? And you say that this is the same place, yeah, that Solomon's just built.
Yes, 100%.
All right, go on then. Let's go to Joshua.
Joshua
Joshua
7, 6 to 7.
Joshua chapter 7, verses 6 to 7. Want to take
Figure it out.
and open up a good book to Joshua chapter 7, verse 6 to 7.
Okay. And it says, and Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord. Until the eventide, he and the elders of Israel put dust upon their heads. So what we have here very clearly is this. This Ark of the Covenant, hold on. This Ark of the Covenant, along with these cherubim, were placed in this building known as the temple dedicated to the name of this God. This God who first tells you not to make any graven images. Then when Ezra responds, I will give you a bit more detail. But anyway, we have here that Joshua himself, he fell upon his face before the ark of the Lord. Now, the ark of the Lord is a square box, a wooden box overlaid with gold, which has two cherubim on top of it. Now, if Ezra disagrees with that, we can go to the detail.
No, I definitely agree.
Okay, one sec. So we have Joshua bowing down before the ark. So we have two instructions given by your God.
That's a lie.
Hold on. It said, don't make any graven images. He then tells you to make the graven images. He said, don't bow down to the graven images. He then has a prophet called Joshua bow down to the graven images. What we find here overall, most simply, is that the God of the Bible is very confused. He's not bipolar. He gives contradictory instructions. And in fact, if we look at it, we might find that this God is actually the devil because he's a tormentor. Imagine telling you not to do something, then saying to do the thing, and then punishing you for so many generations after it. So we can see that the Hebrew people, we can feel sorry for them because you can't even blame the white man in this case. Because your God said, don't do this thing, then said, do it. And then after you do it, he then going to put you in slavery and all kind of craziness because you've done it. So we've solved the problem of the Hebrew and why they're in the situation, because you've got to stop worshiping the confused God of the Old Testament and come down to the Islam of the Quran. Just to give you another idea of this type of God we're dealing with, if we can please go to Psalms chapter 18 and 10, please, Shakara.
All right, the book of Psalms.
So, you remember all these verses, right?
It's not that many, brother.
Stay in this Joshua. You know what? Let me just, before you do that, because I feel like this is a bit too much for me to. Can I go through one by one, like I gave you the opportunity?
I think because
like I gave you the opportunity.
Because
he
did give you the opportunity to
know what I'm saying?
come back. If he's asking for it, I'm inclined to give it to him. So
let me just do this one thing and that's it.
No, let me just stay with Joshua before you go there, because like I feel like this is a madness. You get me? So basically, yeah, the brother Issa, yeah, which you get me. I love the guy, but he's a very confused guy. You get me? I'm gonna try not to call him dumb names like dumb Tellect or something like that. But
Nah, bun that up, bro. Now, let me
Alright,
start
I'm
with you
gonna try.
crazy
I'm gonna
Hebrews,
try.
bro.
I'm gonna try. But this is what you call disingenuous, and this is what you call like selective nitpicking. You get me? Because if you would have read one verse up, yeah, you would have clearly seen that, like Brother Joshua was not praying towards the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, like he fell towards the ground, as it says. So let's read up. Let's read up a verse or two.
Yeah, 1 second. Content, please put the share the screen back, please. Put the verse back up on the screen for the people to read. Go ahead, Ezra.
Yeah. Okay then. So look, let's go from verse 2. Yeah. Joshua 7, verse 2. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up to view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not the people go up. Let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not the people to labor thither, for they are but few. Yeah. And it says, so there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote them, about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate, even unto Shebraim, and smote them in the going down, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the covenant, before the ark of the Lord, until eventide, and to the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. So wait there. Does that sound like he was praying towards the covenant to anybody?
Yes.
Or did
It says until eventide, right?
yeah.
Right. So what is he doing?
So it says he fell to the ground. They've just had a war. Yeah. He's came back and he's fell upon his face before the Ark of the Covenant. How do you know he weren't sleeping? How do you know he weren't just lying there depressed? Like, you can't just make these stupid assumptions, bro. It doesn't
It
say
says
that
he
he's
put dust on their head.
One
Are you not
second.
reading the rest of it?
Yeah, the elders put dust on their head. But how does that say that they're praying? Like, you can't just, like I said, Issa, yeah, you can't just make these assumptions. Nowhere does it say, 1 second, Issa, let me finish what you're saying. Yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, nowhere does it say they're praying. They just came from a war, yeah, and he came and fell before the Ark of the Covenant on his face. That's what it says, yeah. Anything else is conjecture and speculation, you get me? So go to your next verse.
Exactly. So the next verse refutes you. So carry on.
Go on then.
I'll read it for you. And Joshua said, he said to who? The Ark of the Covenant. Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people
Can you be honest with the people? And it does not say the Ark of the Covenant. Just for the people who are listening, yeah. You get me? It does not say that. Yeah. Carry on.
What?
It did not say the Ark of the Covenant in the verse. You just
Ark
put
of
that.
the Lord. All right. No. All right. So it says in I'll go before and read 6. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell on the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord. Do you agree that's the Ark of the Covenant, Ezra?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So it's the Ark of the Covenant we're referring to. Until the evening tide, he and the elders of Israel and put dust upon their heads. Now 7 is telling you what Ezra said, Joshua said, not Ezra, obviously, when he fell down before the ark of the Lord, saying, Alas, O Lord. So this is what he said. He wasn't asleep like Ezra is trying to tell you for whatever reason. Alas, O Lord, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we have been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites. So this is basically all he seemed to be saying until the evening tide. So he clearly fell before a wooden square box which had graven images of cherubim on top, and he was praying towards these two idols and this square box.
No, no.
Okay, so there
Issa, you are a sick guy. Listen, yeah. Nowhere does it say that he's praying to this thing. He fell on his face towards it and he's cried out, "Oh Lord." This is not a prayer. Does it say he's praying or does it say he cried out?
Hold on, it says, and
Lord,
Allah.
wait there. Listen, let me.
You asked me a question. I'm answering
No, I was speaking to the people. Then. Yeah, let's say it. Yeah. Does it say he's praying, or does it say he fell on his face and cried out, "Oh Lord"? Get me? Why has he brought these people? Like, say again.
That's a prayer to God, isn't it? If you say, "Oh God," who are you talking to? That's
so if you say, "Oh God," wherever, does that mean like? So if I'm looking at my kitchen now, if I'm standing in front of my stove and I say, "Oh God," does that mean I'm saying it to my stove? Are you dumb, fam?
Hold on. All right, you know. All right, carry on, because you're just gonna make it worse for yourself. But carry on. You finished?
Yeah.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree? All right. Let me just go to the actual verses. I mean, damn.
The man clearly says, unlike you, where it says pray to this direction, it clearly tells you to pray there. Yeah. Go and find something like that, please. It's that messing about.
Okay. Have you forgotten the prayer of Solomon? Has that gone from your head?
What do you mean, that one you just read?
No, the one before that.
In what? First Kings?
Okay, First Kings.
Yeah.
8:29. Do you want to go there again, please, Brother Shakara?
Yep, First Kings. Went to the book of First Kings.
This was even worse.
Sorry, chapter 8, verse 29, yeah?
Yes. We can do with 27 verse 27, 28, 29. Just to make it clear that Tellect is not doing any kind of cheating. Obviously, we've seen there while you find it that Ezra made a big error claiming that he probably fell asleep. I mean,
no, I didn't say that. I said you are lying. You know, actually, why?
All right,
you
should go back and listen.
Issa,
This is what you said he may have said.
I said it could have been anything. He could have been lying there. He could have been falling asleep. He could have been anything. That's what I said. I didn't try and say he was falling asleep there. What I said.
No, but you put that in there.
Listen. Issa, 1 second. I'm saying he came from war. Yeah, he fell there. He rent his clothes and he fell before the thing and cried out, "Oh Lord." Yeah, that doesn't mean he's praying, and that doesn't mean he's praying towards the thing. So fine.
So let's. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But I mean, it's not quite. Well, it is Kalas. It's Kalas for you because we go here again, and we see right here where do you agree, Ezra, that the Ark of the Covenant was brought into the same place where we find the cherubim spoken of?
Yeah.
Okay, so when Solomon is saying these words, that thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward this place. Yeah. Do you agree that the center of this place is the same square or rectangular cuboid box known as the Ark of the Covenant? Yes?
Yes.
Good.
But what I'm saying is, look, it says that thy servant shall make a prayer towards this place, and we must hearken towards it. Where is it telling us, us, Israelites, to pray towards this place?
I'll go the next verse. So hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, when they shall pray toward this place, and hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and when thou hearest, forgive. So they're praying towards this place, which is a temple, which has a inner room, an inner sanctuary, which has two massive statues called cherubim, graven images, which are apparently not allowed by him previously. Obviously, your God has bad memories. He gets jealous. He all kind of craziness. He has regret.
See, like this is the problem. This is the problem that Issa has.
Hold on. So the people are made to pray towards a golden box, towards big, massive winged cherubim, towards a building, etc.
See, lying because firstly, and I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you got enough sense to know this. Yeah. Israelites have to follow the laws like that might be breaking news to you, Issa, but yeah, where there is no law, there is no sin. So we have to follow the laws. Guess what? In Kings, this is not no laws. You don't get laws from here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this is not something that we must follow. What I'm saying is, it said that when they shall pray to this place. So we know that in times of war, yeah, they did make a prayer towards that building, the elders. So that's exactly what it's talking about. So what I'm saying is, that's not a commandment for the Israelites to do that. Do you understand?
Right. So let's get this correct, Ezra. You're suggesting that Solomon is commanded to build this temple where the name of this God will dwell, and the eyes of this
It's
God.
not commanded to me.
Hold
Show me
on.
where it's commanded.
Let me
Wait
finish.
there, wait there. One
That
second.
thine
Show me where
eyes.
it's commanded to build this.
Hold on. That your God's eyes may be open toward this house night and day, not 5 times a day, the whole night. So 12 hours of the night and the 12 hours of the day. So that's 24/7, not like now and again in war, like you tried to say, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name should be there. That thou mayest hearken unto the prayer. So this means any time of day or night they praying, which they shall make towards this place. The whole purpose clearly, because remember, he's talking to God. So obviously, God told him to hold on. God told him to build the place in the first place. Now he's talking.
No, he didn't.
Pardon me?
No, he didn't. This is Solomon's house you're talking about.
Hold on. Are you now saying that God didn't tell Solomon to build this temple?
I'm saying this isn't a temple. This is Solomon's house.
No, it's not his house.
Yes, it
Are you
is.
serious?
Yes. Go on.
You don't know the Bible, do you?
Yeah, I do. This here, what you're talking about. This is Solomon's house.
Oh, gosh.
Look, go to First Kings 7. Yeah. But Solomon was building his own house 13 years, and he finished all of his house.
First King 7, yeah?
Yeah.
No, stay on this. Just go up. Just go up a minute.
See. Go on.
There you go. Right. Solomon, hold on. Just go up to verse 1, right? And this is very straightforward and simple, right? Cheese on bread. Go to verse 1. Let's just smash this ridiculous garbage of which and this is what happens when your God gives you commands to do something and then punishes you for following his commands. You get all confused and you don't even know how to read his book anymore. That's the problem. So I bid you Hebrew Israelites come to the Islam and the Quran, where you have consistent and proper things, proper straightforward commands, and your God is not going to punish you for following his ridiculous instructions and so on. So it says, then Solomon, number 1, assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chiefs,
You have to actually read it.
What I'm saying is, like, there's a holy perverse. The point that we're looking for now is to make sure that people know that
bro, but people are watching and not everybody.
Let me read it. All right, Shakara, let me read it. Listen carefully. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto the king Solomon of Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled unto themselves unto the king Solomon at the feast of the month Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And all the elders of Israel came, and the priests of the ark. They brought up the ark of the Lord and the tabernacle of the congregation and all the holy vessels.
They brought it. Oh, bring it out. Bring it out.
Hold on. When the tabernacle, even those did the priests, Levites bring up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him were before the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen that could not be told nor numbered for multitude. Can you continue to scroll up, please? That was verse 5. Shakara?
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
Okay, I can't see it. Okay, so from 6, it says, and the priest is still moving, and the priest brought in the ark of the covenant of the Lord unto his place, into the oracle of the house, to the most holy place, even under the wings of the cherubim. For the cherubim spread forth their 2 wings over the place of the ark, and the cherubims covered the ark and the staves thereof. Are you suggesting this was actually Solomon's house where the Ark of the Covenant and his
No, I'm
cherub?
telling you that they brought the tabernacle like you read earlier.
Oh, no. When it said pray towards this place further on, are you saying that that was Solomon's? Are you still saying that's Solomon's house, or are you accepting you were wrong and it's actually a
No, I'm
temple?
saying it is Solomon's house, but they have brought, like it says in verse 4, if you want to read that bit again, it says, and they brought up the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle of the congregation. So that's the Lord's house, the tabernacle. That's what you're talking about there. That's
No.
where the Ark of the Covenant, bro.
All right. What did Solomon build? Hold on. What did Solomon build?
Yeah, Solomon built the temple,
Okay.
but he also built his own house, which took him 13 years, as I already
That's
read.
fine. Hold on. Listen to what the question is. Let's say he built his own house. Where were the cherubim and the Ark of the Covenant? In his house or in the temple?
Before he built the temple, at his house, in the what's it called? In the, like what we just read, in the tabernacle.
Right. So can we scroll on, please, so we can make sure, maybe it should be about verse 20. So if you can get to verse 20, please, Shakara, because I mean this is getting pretty ridiculous. Anyone who can just read the Bible, I mean these are desperate arguments. But let's, if you can go
What are
to
you on
verse.
about? You're not making no sense, bro.
Yeah.
Show me
Okay.
where you get me.
We're
Hold
here.
on. Verse 20. And the Lord performed made the word. I've set up a place for the ark wherein and Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord's presence. Yeah, please go again to 20 from 23 onwards. Let's see. Sorry. And it says in 17, and it was in the heart of David, my father, to build an house for the name of the Lord, the God of Israel.
Yeah,
So talking about a house, yes, and still
yeah,
congregation.
that's in his mind now. Now it's like
That's fine. Yeah,
yeah,
keep going,
but
please. Sorry,
the
Shakara.
house ain't built yet, bro.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, if you can make 25 the top one.
Do you agree that that was in the tabernacle that they brought, like verse 4 said?
Well, I'm not talking about verse 4. I'm talking about where Solomon said, all right, stop there. Thank you. Okay, so all I'm talking about is this particular place, okay, that Solomon finished that they had to pray towards. Okay, therefore
What?
now, Lord God of Israel, keep thy servant
But
David.
he said, one second, like, he finished his house and they brought the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle there, which is the house of the Lord.
Okay,
Do you understand that bit?
okay, no. So you agree now? The place where they prayed towards was the house of the Lord's, correct? The house of the Lord, yes.
No, it was the tabernacle, fam. That was the tabernacle. That's what they was talking about when they went to war. When it's talking about the servant praying towards it, yeah, that's the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron did the same thing.
No. Theirs was like a tent. This is an
Yeah, it's
actual
the same
building with
thing,
rock. No, this is not a tent. This is rocks and stones and
bro.
stuff.
The Lord teaches us how to build the tabernacle. It's the same way how you build it. They all built it the same way. It's in the law. It's actually a law how to
Yeah,
build it, bro.
that's
So,
fine. We're talking the difference between tents and somebody actually building a house, which he's managed to do.
bro, they never carried the house around with them. Do you think they brought the house to Solomon's house? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Look, listen. We're talking about a place. Okay.
Gosh, man.
This is actually becoming a blooming joke. But so 27. But will God indeed dwell on earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain you. How much less this house that I have builded. Right. So we're
Yeah.
talking about not Solomon's house, not a place which will contain Solomon, but a place which will contain the God of Israel, the one who gives you contradictory instructions
Yeah,
and
which
punishment.
isn't built yet.
Hold on. Yet thou hast respect unto the prayer of thy servant and to his supplication, O Lord my God, to hearken unto the cry and to the prayer which thy servant prays before thee today, that thine eyes may be open towards this house. I'm assuming that this house is finished.
Tabernacle.
Night and day, even towards the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make towards this place. Now, if this place
The
ain't built, but how
tabernacle.
you?
I
Oh,
can show you the
and
same thing in in numbers and that.
hold
So
on, can you keep going, Shakara, please? A few verses down. Let's see. I mean, I've already. I think there's nothing.
This is he's struggling, fam.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna bring out some laws in a minute anyway. So
Yeah.
nonsense. Let chat is nonsense, so then just bury it.
So let me get this correct. You're agreeing with the fact that the cherubim and the Ark of the Covenant were in this place, correct?
Yeah.
But
In
you're
the
calling
tabernacle.
it the tabernacle, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you saying it's a tabernacle made of stone or tent?
I'm saying it's a tabernacle made exactly how Moses and Aaron.
Is it tent or stone?
It's made out of stone and tent and pillars and all
Okay.
sorts.
Good.
I mean, it's they tell us in Exodus how to make it.
Brilliant. Okay, that's the
Exodus
main.
30.
That's good. So
23.
brilliant. You're agreeing that this is, let's call it the tabernacle, right?
Yeah.
Point is, people are praying towards this place. It's not Solomon's house, as you said before, so we're on the same page. And they're praying towards a place that has a square or cube box that has on top of it these two winged creatures, and on top of them a massive 10 cubits? How many meters is cubits? Anyone know? 10, that's 15 feet.
It's not a cube, it's an arm length, I think. Isn't it?
Well, let me see the
Sure, it's
cherub.
an arm length.
It says 10 cubits tall. Okay, not the span. So 10, these 15 feet tall cherubim. These are massive statues and idols at the center, the inner sanctum, which is the most holy place. So deep within Israel are graven images that they pray towards. How despicable!
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
That's a lie.
How despicable and how idolatrous. How dare you try and entice my people to worship golden and wooden statues like the Hindus, damn it. Now I warn you people away from this wayward straying life of this God. Now let's quickly go to one I wanted to go to before, please, Brother Shakara, which is in Psalms.
He said, give up, man. You're wasting your time.
Psalms 18:10, please. Psalms 18:10.
Psalm chapter 18 and verse 10.
Ain't no proof, not a thing yet still. Oh my God, wasting time, dog.
We're here. Chapter 18 and verse 10.
Okay, brilliant. Are we there yet?
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it on YouTube. Oh, here it is. And it says, let's go from 9, please. 9 or even 8. Because I find this quite funny. Can you scroll up a bit, please?
Yep, done.
Okay, so it says here in Psalms 18, and let's start with 7. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth. Devoured coals were kindled. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly. Yes, the God of Israel, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. Now, this is the problem with the God of Israel. Your God is flying upon
Yo, I swear to God,
flying all over the place. So this is why you're having problems. 1 minute your God wants you to pray to him.
Let me respond. You're gonna go on.
I ain't finished my argument yet.
You're gonna go on.
Hold on.
Tirade now.
Let me finish. Now, 1 minute your God wants you to pray to him inside of him being in an idolatrous wooden box with graven images of things in the air with wings. The next minute your God is flying all over the place on the cherubim. This is why the Hebrews are confused. 1 minute you got to play towards Jerusalem and the holy temple or tabernacle according to these statues, and then you're trying to pray to your God when he's flying all over the place. That's why the Hebrews are confused. They don't know if play to north, east, south, west, to the heaven and the sky, to the hell below. That's why the Hebrews are confused. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Thank you very much, Ezra. Please respond so you can get your next set of refutations. Thank you.
All right, 1 second before you respond. It's 3 minutes to 12. Yeah, so we've got to put a time on this because we've been
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this will be quick. I mean, I don't
Come
mind
on.
doing the next 10
Alright,
minutes
then,
without just scroll.
we can do a next. We
Yeah.
can deal with him for like, I don't know, however long, and then I just need 5 minutes to just mash him up and bring out some laws, and
Yeah.
done. But I'm just going to refute this madness what he was just talking about. So he's actually just put out there to the universe that our God, was flying on some cherubims, which is mad. Well, let's read up a bit and get some more context, car. Man have no sense. So look, Psalms 18:2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised, so I shall be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of godly men made me afraid. So wait there. We know that this person now, who is King David, we know that he's speaking figuratively now, because obviously he wasn't in hell, and death didn't actually compass him because he's still writing, isn't he? Yeah. So obviously he's speaking. I don't know. He's speaking either of a vision or figuratively, in it. Yeah. So look, he says, "I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, so I shall be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. Yeah. There I went up and smoke out. There went up a smoke out of the nostrils, and the fire out of his mouth. Devoured coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rolled upon a cherub, and did fly. He did fly upon the wings of the wind.
Jeez.
So, yes, this is a vision, my lad. Get me? Get me? It's a vision, my lad. So, like it clearly says, death didn't compass him. He's speaking about either a future event, what I believe is a prophecy of the Lord coming back, and his chariots. You get me? Well, that's my thing. Go on.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think Ezra first was trying to pretend that it was King David and so on. Then when he started reading, he realized, no, it is actually talking about his God. And it says, there went up a smoke. Sorry, can we mute up, please?
Sorry.
What? Shaka, tell him. Why is he?
I do have to
why does he
ask
do
the
that?
question, because obviously we read from verse 1, and this is obviously David talking. So this is not God. There's nowhere in Psalms that God talks, from my understanding. Yeah, this is Psalms is
David, man.
it's sacred hymns and songs, praises unto the Lord. So this is not God's voice.
It's the song of King David. It's
Excuse me. You're supposed to be the moderator. So actually, I'll refute.
I am. No, but I'm saying I'm asking.
Nah, but he's being fair, man. He's not letting you just spew bare crap.
All right. I'll refute both of you. Hold on.
I'm asking the moderator.
All right.
If you're saying that this is God talking, to demonstrate that.
I never said that at all.
Yes,
They say this is the book of Psalms.
Yes.
This is King David speaking, and King David is a prophet, a big-time prophet, according to the Bible and the Quran. So when this God of King David is saying, then the earth shook and trembled, the foundations, also the hills moved and were shaken and all kind of thing. And where is it? Then there went up smoke out of his nostrils. So they have a dragon, what you call it, a Chinese dragon god. He blowing smoke out of his nostrils and fire out of his mouth, which coals were kindled by this God, and he blowed. It comes sound like one of them Greek and Roman God. He bowed up the heavens also and came down. So they gotta come down, and darkness was under his feet, and then he's riding upon a cherub. Now we say Prophet Muhammad, he may have flown on a horse with wings, but your Almighty God is flying on a cherub. That's why you don't know which way to pray to him, because he's all over the place. You don't know if in a temple in a wooden golden box. You don't know if in
It's
east,
mad, man.
west, north, or south. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I just want to clarify. As I said at the beginning, Chemo and others misunderstood. I am saying not that I'm accusing Solomon of idolatry. I'm saying if people are saying that if we pray towards the Kaaba in Mecca, that's idol worship, then I'm saying, well, if you want to accuse us of that, look into your own book, which says when you pray towards the holy temple and tabernacle and so on, then that's idol worship too.
And Shaka, let me say one thing on it. Let me say one thing.
According to your own criteria.
Issa,
That's
relax.
all I'm saying.
I have to
You've
ask-
just been yapping for long.
I have to ask you because when that point was first brought up, your response was that that it's not a commandment, yeah? It's not a law. Yeah. Now, if it was done, however, does that indicate that it may not have been a commandment, but it wasn't a sin?
Nah, I'm saying like
Towards the to pray towards the building with the cherubims and so on and so forth.
yeah, I'm saying it wasn't a sin for King Solomon. Yeah, because it's like it says, my servant will do that. Yeah, but and the elders around him, obviously, you know, we're doing that. But it's what I'm saying is it's not a commandment for us. You know, because like the book of Kings, isn't it? As you know, the book of Psalms, Kings, yeah, like most of these are historical events according to the Bible, anyway, whether you believe them or not, yeah.
Yeah.
Like King David is talking about historical events. King Solomon is talking about historical events. Certain things happened that don't make them for us to do, you get me? Because it happened in the past. That don't mean that we're commanded to do it. What we're commanded to do is in the Torah, yeah. And he hasn't even gone there once. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, I
what
have.
I'm saying is, well, you went there to show the actual law that we're not supposed to bow down to no strippingness, yeah, and do that. So what I'm saying is, like, that's the law, and we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So if you know what it is, if it's in one law, all right, if there was one law, one sec, if there was one law that said do not bow to no idols and do not do this, do not make nothing, and then there's another law that says, yeah, go and bow to this, yeah, then you would have a point.
No, but Ezra, sorry, Ezra, because I do have to clarify that what was brought was Exodus first, right?
Yeah.
The commandment was laid down not to bow to nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we see with Solomon and them that they're praying towards this building with the cherubims.
No, Shakara, the
tabernacle.
first one is graven images. Don't forget that first.
With graven images. Well, so cherubims are graven images, right? So
yeah, but you know what it is? You know what the difference is? Yeah, like the Lord actually visited Israelites in those tabernacles. You know what I'm saying? So like, look at the time of Moses and Aaron. Yeah, the Lord actually came there in a cloud of smoke. You know what I'm saying?
He came in a wooden box.
No.
No?
He entered the Lord used to enter the tabernacle. Yeah, that's why that to leave it with a hole at the top. The Lord used to enter it and leave in a cloud of smoke. And the people outside the tabernacle used to see leaving the smoke.
Can we go to Exodus 25, please? Let me just put this thing to bed, bro. Exodus 25, 18 to 20.
Wait there,
please.
Issa, wait there. It's my turn. I'm going to go through some verses now, yeah, to just prove what you're talking about is foolishness according to the law, yeah. And then you can do your thing. Yeah.
all right, go, give me the verse, Ezra.
Yeah, all right, let's see. Yeah, Leviticus 19 and 4.
Leviticus, the book of judgment. And
Them
I'm forgetting my biblical. Oh, like, what do you say for chapter what?
19, verse 4.
Chapter 19 and verse 4. Yeah, man, where everybody did. When it comes to this because everybody did, you know. But yeah, let's go. Come, what do you say? Ezra, you there?
Yeah. What you say?
Yeah, you there? You ready?
Yeah, you got it.
Hmm?
I need to get it myself. I can't see it on this phone. 19, 4. Yeah. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your God. And if you offer a sacrifice or peace offering unto your Lord, ye shall offer it at your own will. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, yeah, according to this one, and let me just get one more while we're here. Yeah. You know what? You know what? This, you know what? Shaka, I beg you go to Psalm 16, verse 4.
Psalms.
Let me.
Read
This one.
you was
When I
bringing
come
first.
across this one earlier, this one made me chuckle. Still, this is like a sidebar for both of you. You hear me?
Psalm again?
Psalm 16, verse 4.
16 and verse
King
4.
David, you know. You hear me? So, you know, take note. I'd like you to read this one, Brother Shaka, for me. Bring it out.
Really, yeah. This is a setup, yeah, family.
Bring it out.
So all my Ifa family don't go away. All right. What's it called? All right. Their sorrow shall be multiplied that hasten after another god. They drink offerings of blood. Sorry, one second. Yeah, they drink offerings of blood will I not offer. Nor take up their names into my lips. Indeed. Amen.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Get me?
Hallelujah. All right.
But this one says, "I will not pour out libations in the old King James 16:11." Know what I'm saying?
In the old King James. Okay, so they've edited this one. Then.
Yeah, you've got the revised one, but that's cool though. It's still all right.
All right, cool.
That old one's too hard to read. But
their sorrow shall multiply that haste. Where did it say about? Oh, okay. So where it says drink offerings of blood is I shall not take that.
Thou shalt not pour out libations of blood. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't pour libations of blood still. So
I know.
I mean,
just saying. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So and basically, yeah. And one more. Let me just go to Revelation, just to make my notes right through the Bible. So we've seen the law, we've seen the prophets, yeah, and now let's go to the Revelation.
Revelation.
Verse 9 and 20.
This is the first time we've got to New Testament, you know. So
yeah. And just bring balance to show that it's one consistent thing, you know.
Chapter 9, verse 20, yeah.
Yeah, verse 9. Yeah, chapter 9, verse 20.
All right, we're here.
Yeah, and it says, one second. Revelation. Yeah. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Get me, Issa? So, Blackstone, yeah. So to break the news, yeah. That thing can't see, my lad. Get me? The thing can't see, dog. So, you know, get me. With that, get me. I'm going to say, Kwam Yashala. Yeah. And, you know, Israel to the world.
So,
Big up.
all right. Are we concluding there, or?
Yeah, I'm kind of done still. Like, this is, unless he's got anything else he wants to bring out for me to beat up.
Black Intellectual?
Sorry, man. Just went out. You there?
Yeah, bro.
You ready for me? Did you get the thing? Psalms, what was it? Sorry, Exodus 25, 18 to 20.
All right, this will be the last thing, yeah, car.
Yeah, we can end on
Man,
this.
one of them thing there, is it?
Yeah,
Right,
for real.
Exodus chapter what?
All right.
18, 25, Jack, 25, 18 to 20.
25, 18 to 20.
This madman. So acting like we don't need something to carry around the thing. Get me? We needed something to carry around the laws, man. Don't say it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let me know when you're rolling up, bro.
Yeah, it's there.
Can't see 18. Okay, there it is. Okay, so it says in Exodus chapter 25, verse 18 to 20, it says, thou shalt make noise. Ezra, you're making a bit of noise there, man.
My bad. Go on.
Thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold. Of beaten work thou shalt make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat, and make 1 cherub on the one end and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seats shall you make the cherubims on the ends thereof. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings, which are the images, by the way, of things in the heavens, i.e. birds. Their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces. So this is actually, they have faces. Shall look one to another. Towards the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubim be. 21. And thou shalt put the mercy seat up above upon the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony which that I shall give thee. Now this is the bit you have to pay attention to, as well as the other ones. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat of the metal box, in brackets, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. So what we have here is the instructions of the Most High God. This is not where you can say, well, Solomon went against the commands. This is actually Moses giving direct instructions from the Most High God to beat and fashion images of things in the heavens and on earth, which was forbidden by the confused God. Not only that, he has to communicate with him between the wings of the metal box. Now, obviously, if your God is flying all over the place on a cherubim, you might need to use the metal box to communicate with him, just like they use the airport information to communicate with the airplane. So this is how it works with the Hebrew God. And yes, here we can never escape the fact that the Hebrew God is telling you out of one side, do not make any images of anything in the heavens or on earth, as a commandment not to do. And then out the other side saying to make these images. So no wonder the Hebrews are always confused in what they do, and that's why, you know, they want to disrespect a lot of them that are African brothers and sisters and Hamites and so on. So we need to look into really the psychosis that our Hebrew brothers are having, and it's the source is this book, full of contradictions, a God that flies around, a God that needs to be communicated with through a metal box, and sometimes it's in the metal box, like a genie.
Okay. And, all right. Coming from the God that's got 2 right arms, like Goro from Mortal
That's
Kombat,
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
and 1 big
As
shin.
long as
Yeah.
he's not in the
You
metal
got
box.
2. Your guy's got 2 arms and 1 big shin, bro, looking like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
But
So
that's
you
not
need to
that's
be
not
able.
in the Quran.
Yes, it
So
is. You got 2 right hands.
so with that, we just have to make sure that we.
I do got to clarify though, Ezra. Are you conceding that a cherubim is a great image?
A cherubim is a graven image.
Yeah.
No,
What?
I'm not. Nah, it's not. Like, this is what I'm saying. That is not to be worshipped. Don't forget, it says, "Do not make any graven images to worship." Yeah, and I'm saying we ain't doing that. Fam. Yeah,
It doesn't say that though.
it does.
It says
It
don't
says,
make.
"Do not make." Yeah, go on.
And then it says after. So first the thing is don't make them, and then it says and
don't.
right. That's extra. So I'm saying
No, it says to worship them. Do not make them to worship.
No,
That's what
it
it
doesn't
says.
say
Read
that.
it again. Read it again.
Well, it's not here, is it? This is a different verse.
Yeah, well, go to the one you're on about.
But if what's his name? If
What again?
what is it? The Exodus 20, I think. Is it that one? Yeah, just click on the one next to it at the top.
Exodus 20 and verse what?
No, you've got it right there. Just click on the one next to it. Just at the tab next to it. 20 and 4, I think it is. Just look at your tab next to it at the top. Oh, I don't. No.
It's chapter 24. So.
No, look at the tab at the top, bro. Next to it. Exodus.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right, is that gone? Right. Thou shalt not make. We're gone. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above or in the earth beneath or that in the waters underneath the earth. So you know what I mean? It don't say nothing about bowing down. That comes next. So
yeah, exactly. Why are you stopping though?
No, brother, it's not there, number one. But I'm saying, I'm just reading the thing as it is.
Let me just read it. Leviticus 26. Yeah, you shall not make you no idols, no graven images. Yeah.
Exodus.
Exodus. All right. Exodus what?
What was it? Thing 24, 20 and 4.
Exodus 20 and 4. Look, all right. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath. That thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor preserve them. You understand?
Exactly. So the first commandment is not to make the image, and then it's saying not to bow down. So obviously,
it's not a new commandment.
No. I'm saying there's two things there. One, don't make the image.
No, but it's the same commandment. That's what I'm saying. It's saying, do not make them. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. That's what I'm saying. It's saying like, do not make any of these things. Yeah. And then it's making you know, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord your God.
Right. But then you're going to communicate with this God. So obviously, if you're going to communicate, you're going to pray to it. So you're going to bow down to it. So it's the same thing, bro. So at the end of the day, it's created.
No, but you're not going to. How? So what you're saying, God is the cherubim?
No,
like, you're not bowing down to like.
No, he said
like, you're not making sense, bro. Wait there. What I'm saying is like, you have to be fair and honest. You get me? Like, it is not talking about at any point in this talking about going to pray to this thing. It's not doing it.
Really? I think you're missing the point. If you're communicating with this God between the wings of the cherubim above the mercy seat, then obviously you're going to be talking to God.
Who done that? Moses and Aaron, or everybody?
Hold on.
No, Issa, no, it's not. Hold on, it's an important point. Who did that?
Let's say it's Moses and Aaron. Whoever it is, it's still them talking to God through a metal box with cherubim and all kind of statue.
No,
and
they're not talking to God through the metal box. They're talking to God through the chalice, what they're burning the incense on, and then God appears in this cloud of smoke. Like, you're getting that bit, bro. You get me?
Yeah, the ganja. Yeah, I forgot about the ganja.
Yeah, come on, you don't know.
Hold on. Go back to the thing of the Torah. Go back Exodus 25:18, Shakara, please. It won't be long. Nearly done.
Oh, wait there. Go to 23 before you do that. Go to 20. Is it 23? Wait there.
You know
Let's go to how you actually build this tabernacle thing. Yeah.
What? This
Because
guy want to divert, fam.
no,
Actually, I've got it here. I'll read it. I'll read it here. This is what it says in King James. It says, and this is Exodus 25:22, and there I will meet with you, and I will speak with you from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubim which are on the ark of the testimony, about everything which I will give you in commandment to the children of Israel. Again,
give who? Wait there. Give who though? Is that the children of Israel or is that Moses?
Even if it's Moses, it don't matter who. Moses.
So what's it got to do with me then? So what's it got to do with me?
Hold on, listen. I want you to listen. I want you to listen.
No, tell the truth.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Hold on.
Listen. I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you.
Good.
God is saying it wasn't even Moses that made the statues. It was the RT handiwork men that were fashioners and graveners that made the cherubim in the first place.
Where does it say that?
Oh my, bruv. Are you serious?
It says fashioning, yeah, with the work, with work of. We read it, fam. It does not say that next man built it.
What, Moses didn't build it? Did you not know that?
Moses built the tabernacle, and Aaron, fam, it was them two was commanded to build it.
Of the covenant was not built by Moses. You're supposed to know your book.
No, not that.
Well, that's what we're talking about. The Ark of the Covenant. That's what we're talking about.
The Ark was, but what I'm saying is the first tabernacle was built first.
No, we're talking about the Ark of the. Why are you going everywhere else? We're talking about the Ark of the Covenant.
Because, like, it's Issa, I'm letting you know something. It's a process, fam. Yeah, it's a process.
Fine. You can tell process. The end of the process is you speak to your God through a metal box. And that's it.
No, he appears over the crown, over the front. Issa, you know what? You're proper disingenuous though, and I didn't feel you shouldn't even have to do that to debate. I'm like,
bro,
I thought you had intellect.
All right, listen. You tell me what
intellect, bro.
You tell me what this means. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things. You tell me what that means.
That's where he came to meet them. Like when obviously Moses, was that mediator in it, as you know already. Your Qu'ran tells you the same thing. I think you get me, that Moses, had a direct connection with God. There was no middleman, no angels, no this, no. He had a direct connection. Yeah. That
was on the mountain. This
he had it everywhere. Him and Moses and Aaron, like I keep trying to show you, built a tabernacle for that purpose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To communicate with him in that cloud of smoke.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I agree, but I'm talking about the metal box and the images. The reason I mention this is the images called the cherubim that have wings and have a face.
The cherubim, the cherubims are like an angel in it, but it's not. You get me? It's not an angel. It's like got the wings and that in it. That's where they get their picture. When we see angels today with wings and that, that's where they depict it from, in it. But,
and wings are off birds and stuff that are in the heaven.
Yeah, but Allah's got a hand. You get me? So like, you can't say that, fam. Because what are you gonna say when I say, "Oh, it's not the same kind of hand that we've got"? So you have to be honest, fam, and be genuine.
No. Allah doesn't fly on a cherub, bruv. That's simple. It doesn't fly. But anyway, okay. Well, it's been brilliant. At the end of the day, we know that they pray towards a wooden metal.
No, they wasn't praying. They was going there to communicate with. Listen, they was going there to communicate with God. They was not praying.
No.
Listen. 1 second. Yeah. Like it said, there God communicated with them. That was not a place where they went to go and pray to. Listen, let me finish.
No, but you're not responding to what I'm saying. I haven't finished.
I could just easily keep cutting you.
No, but I hadn't finished before you cut me.
You did finish. You was chatting.
No, I didn't.
Are you not willing to let people come on? Because I don't know, Leo, if you're still awake, yeah.
No.
So you don't people want to say some stuff. That's cool. Because I think I've given enough time to you non-believers.
All I'm saying, yeah.
So,
Let me just respond to his tirade, because that's the thing. He went on a long one. You get me?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to respond, and he keeps cutting me off. So all I'm saying is, yeah, like there was a process. Issa obviously doesn't know anything about tabernacles and how they're built and how Moses and Aaron were communicating with the Most High. That's evident. He has no knowledge of this. But yeah, I urge him to go and study the thing. Get me? Like we all should, and get some further knowledge. Then come back when you know about tabernacles and Ark of the Covenants, and then we can discuss it further. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my ending speech is that not only do we have the Aaron and the elders and the chosen ones were the ones that were allowed to go into the inner sanctum, but we also refer you to the instructions of Solomon having to build the temple where he had the inner sanctum, where you had the Ark of the Covenant that was placed underneath the wings of the massive 15-foot cherubim, images again of things in heaven, and that you had to pray towards that place, bowing down. And we remember, don't forget, Joshua also prayed when he bowed down before the same ark, obviously communicating through to his God through a metal box between the cherubim. So it's pretty straightforward. The Hebrews are the ones that have in their book, not Hadith, their actual holy book tells you that God instructs them to build graven images. Then he instructs Solomon to build a temple wherewith they can worship or pray towards and bow down towards these graven images.
This is a lie again. Yeah.
Hold on,
Solomon built. One second.
uninterrupt.
Issa, you're sick.
I'm talking, man. I'm
You're
talking.
disgusted, you know.
Yeah,
Go
brother,
on,
it's
go on,
irrelevant. I heard you
go
say
on,
all
go on,
kind of
go on, go on,
disrespectful
go on,
things.
go
I
on,
didn't
go
cut
on,
you.
go
Yeah,
on.
so as we have Solomon, he's instructed minutely every detail, every inch of how to build this temple.
Tabernacle.
So we pray unto you, O Allah, the Most High, to guide our Hebrew brothers who are lost, praying to a God flying from east to west
All right, and go on.
on a UFO or something.
Issa, go on, man. All right,
Calm
and
down.
all I'm
Calm
listen.
down.
Forget the joke thing. Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on, man.
All
Let me
up.
finish.
Nah, you just chatting rubbish, though, man. Forget that, man. Like, let's just keep it intellectual. Like, all I'm saying is, yeah, Issa, I clearly showed him that that was not the temple. Like, we showed him in the verse what Solomon was building for 13 years. It was his own house. Clearly said his own house. But Issa is still gonna sit there and lie and
All
tell
right, which
you.
one?
1 second.
Which one?
We just read it, man. Forget it. Isa's still gonna sit there and tell you it was the temple when we clearly saw it was his own house, and the ark and the tabernacle was brought there. Yeah. So like everybody just read back, listen back to the thing, go and study, get the verses, and you're gonna see, you know, where the truth's at, and follow that.
all right, family.
Yeah.
Well, this has been the battle of Abraham. Bible, Torah versus Quran and authentic Hadith. The choice is yours as to who represents the real idolatress and who has the true commandments of the Most High. Tune in next week because there are more debates planned, and we'll have more on those debates in the future, kings and queens. Either way, I hope somebody learned something from this exchange. Continue to study, continue to read. Because the point of this conversation is that we all learn, we all grow, and we all come to some form of understanding. Giving thanks to Content Over Everything. Once again, if you are not a subscriber to Content Over Everything, do subscribe, hit the like button, share the video, and also subscribe to the other COE channels. When you go on the channel, hit the channels button, and you will see the other channels. We do got Content Over Everything as always. Family, peace and blessings, and we'll see you for another episode at some point in the not too distant future. Peace.
Big up. Peace and love.
Yeah, man. Big up. Respect, Shaka.
Yeah, everything blessed. Everything.
Respect for hosting the thing. Don't know.
Yeah, we're trying, you know.
Big up. Yeah, that was good. That was good. We got to get Chaka back again for any future debates and thing. Yeah, big up.
Yeah, man, that was great. The introduction, the hosting, everything. Big up COE for having us. Don't know.
Big up
Yeah,
COE,
man.
the panel, The haters, the lovers, the likers, the in-between. Big up, big up. Where's COE? You on there or something? Leon, where you there? Is he? What's happening, lad? So what? Leon just gonna let it roll? Is
Is he
that it?
still there?
No, he's there because I see things changing on the screen, so he's probably just sorting out some stuff.
Can he talk? Oh, he can't talk or something. Oh, he done it out. Right.
I jumped in again.
Maybe he can't talk. Maybe family's sleeping because I heard some mute and things.
Well, are we
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
We can
We're still live.
Yeah. Yeah, man, still live, man. I don't know if the people them can hear me. Big up Shakara for hosting the thing. For moderating still. Yeah, make sure you log on to Shakara's channel as well, man. Shakara speaks. And got TV as well, you get me? And aid up Ezra and Issa for coming on as well for having an intellectual discussion. You get me? So we want to see ideas get discussed in a respectable manner. As I've been spamming in all of the different chats then where I've seen people run away from discussions and all of that. The truth ain't afraid of inquisition, you get me? Inquiry. Yeah, any subject, if I want to discuss anything. Respect to my brother as well for setting precedent. Cause he's been doing this thing, like he's been facilitating the environment where we can have these ones on COE and it's just run smooth, you get me? Car, yeah, come like the testing ground there. You have to go from my brother's channel, but the ethos is there, you get me? I want to discuss information over people, you get me, sir? That's how the thing said. Yeah, like I said, like the man them said, this was supposed to happen in 2027, but we managed to make it happen a bit earlier. You get me? So hopefully the next one can run earlier as well. You get me? But yeah,
man.
I hate that. We're gonna lock off the show now. Respect for everybody. I think my brother Aspect's live still, so probably gonna go over
we
there.
just want to announce Ziriab was back in the comments talking about he wants to have the 3-part debate with me or something. So yeah, hopefully Ziriab is going to get that work again, and we would like Shakara to host. Possibly also he can co-host with we name Scattered Minds, where you've got two sides. You know, two brothers can help facilitate such a debate. So tune in. Hopefully that'll be soon. Either this weekend or next week. We shall see.
Yeah, fam. Well, like I said, fam, the platform's there, and it's as soon as the man them's ready, that's gonna happen. You get me? It's gonna happen. Yeah. Apologies for everybody that wanted to jump on as well. Cause obviously it's gangster hours now. I don't think the man them want to stay on and discuss that matter any further right now. It seems like it's a bedtime thing still. So yeah. Hopefully next time we start a bit earlier, and then we just make the man them on the panel have the main discussion, and then all of the extras, all of the ones who's not considered worthy enough to be on the panel from the start can jump on afterwards and do all the scraps. You get me? All right then. I respect seeing me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, family. Well, yeah,